He couldn't due to ill health, and it seems that his condition persists. And as far as tomorrow's proceedings are concerned, we will deal with that matter of Mr. Karim's tomorrow morning at 9:30 as the first order of business.
Michael says the Commission has another witness lined up for today.
And then the Commission has another witness, the details of which will be announced. But the Commission is continuing with its work tomorrow and Friday, certainly.
The KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Government will this morning convene a summit on illegal migration as concerns over undocumented foreigners rise. Since the beginning of the year, the province has seen various protests and marches over immigration. Anti-illegal immigration groups have set next Tuesday as the deadline for undocumented foreign nationals to leave South Africa. Nhlanhla Mabaso has more.
Parts of the eThekwini and Umgungundlovu districts in KZN are expected to be an epicenter of the looming June 30th shutdown against illegal foreign nationals. The provincial government will today hold a summit to address migration issues with representatives including religious leaders and the leaders of anti-illegal immigrant groups. During a meeting with the United Nations Human Rights Commission representatives earlier this month, Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli said the government is doing what it should have long done.
This is an issue which we have taken too long as government to address. And we agree with the entire society when they are saying, government, you should have started to manage migration properly within the laws of our country long time ago. Hence, we are doing that now as government.
UN representatives have also been invited to form part of today's gathering. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Durban.
And it's been an exciting morning for South Africa with celebrations for Bafana Bafana's historic achievement at the FIFA World Cup. The team beat South Korea 1-0 during the early hours of the morning game in Mexico. Tapelo Masego's goal sends Bafana to the knockout stages, making this a first for South Africa. This is what the mood was like in the changing room after the match. Bafana play Canada next on Sunday. Gold is trading at $3,971.50 an ounce. The rand is at 16.65 to the dollar, 21.83 to the pound, 18.82 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $72.60 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North. So this is just as you come out of Midrand while traveling on the N12 West. Delays between the Golden Highway and Klipspruit Valley Road. This is towards El Dorado Park.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 23 degrees. The developing story in EWN this hour, the NPA's anti-corruption unit has reached a plea agreement with alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Kat Matlala in his high-profile tender fraud case.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
Seven minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show on this 25th day of June. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning because wow, what a game we had this morning against South Korea. And I think that's how we should start the 702 open line this morning. Hey, let's celebrate our boys. 011-883-0702 is the number to dial. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. Did you watch the game? Did you manage to wake up? This was the decisive moment.
2 goals on the other side of Mexico. No goals as of yet in Monterrey, but that could change. Moremi. Chance here for Tapelo Maseko. No! Laduma! He's finally gone and done it. Bafana Bafana strike first. And it's arguably one of the most significant goals in our football history. And if it was going to be scored by anyone tonight in Monterrey, it was going to be Tapelo Maseko.
Beautiful. You get goosebumps also just listening back to that. But what a wartime play, hey? An attacking game that we had. We truly played our football this morning. Our boys stayed focused. They were aggressive. They were attacking. The defense was good. They understood that only a win could do it. They understood that our success was dependent on a brave approach. And man, they delivered from the depths of despair, as one of the commentators said this morning. So we're now moving to the second round of the tournament, the knockout round, for the first time in history. Here's what Coach Hugo Broos said after the match.
A historic result for Bafana Bafana. How does it feel?
I don't know. I know how it feels, but it's very difficult to explain how it feels. It's a fantastic experience. It was so tough today, but we played a very good game. We had chances. And tactically, I think we made it very good. It was very difficult for South Korea to find the spaces. We defended good, and we were in transitions, we were dangerous. And that's what we wanted to do today. And we scored that goal, and then was it 20 minutes of heart beating and hoping that the game should be as soon as possible finished. So yes, we are in the second round. It's historical. But for the guys, I'm very happy for the guys. I worked with them already near 5 years. And what we did in those 5 years is amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing indeed. I actually got goosebumps watching videos of communities in Soweto and other parts of the country celebrating on the streets in the early hours of the morning. Listen to what was happening in Soweto. I mean, this is after 4 a.m. this morning. People were on the streets singing, pouncing up and down after that win. So this is what was happening there in Soweto, in the early hours of this morning. So did you wake up? How did you find the match, and how are you feeling about this win? And do you think that we can beat Canada as well on Sunday, because we are facing them on Sunday? But yeah, we have played against the best ranked teams, really. These are some of the best teams in the world. And for some of you who were calling yesterday about Bafana Bafana going shopping, do you still feel that way? Let me know. I was actually thinking, does Bafana Bafana perform better when they are under pressure? Like when the odds are against us? Because we were hard on them after the first game in Mexico. And I suppose that's why we want them to do so well, and that's why we can get so critical sometimes. Ronwen Williams, who is the captain, spoke after the match and was actually explaining how difficult it was going into this game, but they managed.
I'm lost for words. I honestly don't know what to say. I don't know if there's a better word than proud. I'm super proud. I'm ecstatic. Just for what this team has been through. The doubt, the doubters, the stress that we've gone through. To play at this elite level is not easy.
not easy, eh? The doubters, and yeah, there were doubters. And there were critical fans as well. Sometimes I feel like we are a bit too hectic as South African fans on our national teams. But I guess, again, we just want them to do so well. And when they do well, we also really come out to celebrate. So let me know if you watched the game and what you thought. 011-883-0702. So we've got breaking news as well this morning. Guess what? Ket Matlala, as you've heard on Eyewitness News, has struck a deal with the state in the Medicare 24 corruption case. So he has entered a plea deal. He's appearing, as we speak now, in the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court after his case was separated from those of his co-accused. Remember, he faces fraud-related charges linked to that controversial 360 million rand SAPS tender that's now come under intense scrutiny. So the court this morning heard that Matlala intends to plead guilty to fraud charges, a position the state says he has maintained since his initial court appearance. So this plea deal is now before the court for consideration, with proceedings continuing as the magistrate decides whether to ratify the agreement or not. But you know what this means? I mean, potentially here, we may have Ket Matlala revealing it all. And that's going to be important. Because there are certain people who, to this day, are still denying that they received monies from him and that was gratification or proceeds of crime or fraud. But if he's entered a plea deal, there are responsibilities on his part. He's got to tell it all. And I wonder who's going to catch strays here. This is really good for the NPA to be able to clinch this deal. Let me know what you think of that as well on 011-883-0702. At 10 o'clock, we're going to do our Hanging Out feature. Today I'm hanging out with award-winning actor Zikhona Sodlaka. She truly is one of South Africa's most beloved, versatile actresses. I mean, she has played any character you can think of. So we're going to be celebrating her between 10 and 11 o'clock. At 11, we do our Thursday dialogue, and today we're asking you, what matters to you as a voter? Do you care more about ideology, or do you care about service delivery? I'm going to be joined by Professor Adam Habib, who is an academic, an activist, and Vice-Chancellor of SOAS University of London. And I'll also be joined by Moelet Zimbek, who is a political economist. And I'm interested in hearing what you think, because automatic party loyalty and liberation politics are really diminishing. They're giving way now to a more pragmatic voter. Like South African voters are increasingly abandoning rigid historical and liberation era ideologies in favor of issue-driven politics like service delivery, pragmatism. And this shift has resulted in a massive voter apathy and a transition into this highly fluid, coalition-dominated political landscape. That's why now you've got people who sometimes call us and say, yeah, I don't like that politician, but I think they can deliver. And that's what I'm going for. I may not like the policies of that party or the position that they've taken on this matter, but I care about service delivery in my city or in my town. That's what people are thinking about. But you've got other people who say, I'm sorry, I am not going to compromise myself like that. If a political party holds a position that truly goes against my values, then I don't care how great their candidate may be and how amazing they will be at service delivery. That's the position that other people have. And I want to know what your position is when we start this conversation at 11 o'clock. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Hi, good morning, Clement and the team. Sam here from Joburg. Yeah, what a happiness moment. Clement, I was sleeping at about 5 o'clock. I had lots of noises around. I mean, the fireworks, it was noise all over Soweto. Oh, wow. Well done to Bafana Bafana. We are so happy. Thank you very much, Sam from Joburg. Thanks, Clement.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Ola, you calling us from Sandton. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. You know, I couldn't be so much I'm even lost for words. You know, Clement, I spoke to you 2 weeks ago, and the sentiment that I said to you, and I referenced you because I know you're a comrades runner, and I said, talent gets you there, but belief gets you all the way. And that's all the boys had to do. They showed a tremendous amount of belief and courage. And that's why we say in sport, football is not played on paper. Because on paper, we should be losing that game. But when you believe and when you've got faith and you trust in each other, you can go all the way. And I mean, I know we're talking about the win, but I think what needs to be highlighted here is the defensive display. I mean, the way they just defended. They literally defended for their lives. It was war. And I mean, as somebody that I've also competed in various events on an international stage, the biggest problem we have as South Africans, we honestly have imposter syndrome. We think that, okay, we are here, let's just do our best. We're up against the rest of the world. But we never actually realize that, you know what? Everybody is just as nervous as you.
Yeah.
But if you just believe and turn it around, you can be the winner, you can achieve. And that's what the boys did. Because now we're playing Canada. There's no reason why we can't beat Canada.
Yeah, they've got the confidence boost that they need, Kola. And, I still get goosebumps just thinking about it and remembering this goal. It was amazing. And Kola is right. That was really a wartime play. These guys they gave it their all. We saw it. Madimecha, you are calling from Senton. Good morning.
Clement, who's it?
I'm not, Wena.
Sure. Well, Clement, I have 2-3 points to make. I'll try and be short. What makes me more proud of this Bafana team is the fact that most of them are here, based here, playing in PSL, which shows that our league here locally is competitive, and we compete at the highest level. I echo the sentiments of the previous caller that we have this imposter syndrome. We don't belong up there. But the truth is, we've showed. And I also wanted to say, so the opening game, we criticized the team. Personally, my criticism was mostly on the coach, because that lineup, even before the game started,
you just saw.
I mean, that lineup didn't represent our style of play. And going into the game, we didn't show what we are capable of doing. We were too scared, and we could have played better if we had played like how we played, qualifying. I mean, we didn't qualify by defending. We qualified by winning.
Absolutely.
And even when the odds were against us.
Yeah, true. Madimecha in Senton, thank you for your call. Tulani, you're in Centurion. Hi.
Hi, Clement. I also say the loss against Mexico is on the coach, quite frankly. When I woke up this morning, by the way, when I saw the lineup, I knew we were going to win this game. Either we were going to win, or at the very least, we were going to get a draw. There was no way we were going to lose that game. And I think we played to our strength, to the that we actually have capable players, and I think that's exactly what we did this. My second point, Clement, was on the issue of the deadline of the 30th of March. And that once said, when a government starts turning against its own people, you must know that they've run out of ideas, and I think that's exactly what is happening here. You can't, as a government, spend 100 million against your own people. That money could actually be spent dealing with this particular issue that we are faced with as a country. So it.
Oh yeah, Tulani, you're lying, my brother. I was hoping that it's going to improve there, but it's breaking. But I think we got the gist of what you were trying to say there about the match on match and the amount of money that's being spent. But also, if the government doesn't ensure that there are enough resources, we are the same people that are going to be back on the radio criticizing them for not having planned properly for any eventuality. Hey, Mpo, you are in Midrand. Good morning.
Morning, Darren. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Yeah, no, I'm happy. I think you are also happy with the Bafana performance.
Oh, very, very, very ecstatic. I'm excited.
I stayed up from the first whistle up until the last one. Yeah, no, the boys were brilliant. I think what helped us that we went back to our roots. We played our South African football. They were all comfortable, played for each other. played as a team, defended as a team, and then we got the results. So yeah, for now, I think we have a good chance of going ahead because now we're playing against Canada. And
and they're the co-hosts, so they've got home ground advantage. So we mustn't relax. We must still bring our own.
Yes.
We mustn't relax. Yeah, Mpo in Midrand, thank you so much. Where are the ladies at? I'm sure there are ladies who also woke up and watched the soccer, who are also celebrating. I've only heard from the guys this morning. More of your calls and WhatsApps after the break. It's 23 after 9.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is streets ahead. Warrior Paints, affordable, lasting luxury.
Lunchtime is coming up and Mr. D has you covered. Open the app, pick your favorite meal and enjoy free delivery between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. No restrictions, no hassle. Skip the line, stay at your desk and let us bring lunch to you. Plus, every food order on the Mr. D app gives you a chance to win exciting prizes. Download the Mr. D app now and make lunchtime effortless.
Hi there, I am Amahle, a stem cell donor. What started out as curiosity turned into an opportunity for me to save a life. Naturally, I was taken aback when I was found to be a match for a patient in need. In South Africa, over 4,000 people die of blood cancer each year. I donated stem cells and I was able to give someone else a second chance at life. Register to become a stem cell donor at kmsafrica.org. So you too can be a lifesaver.
The Dial-A-Bed annual sleep sale is now on with up to 33% off. The Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now only $8,999, and the 40-Wink Smart Zone Medium Comfort Queen Set is reduced to $9,999. Save $6,500. Plus, get fast delivery on our best sellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Grain SA warning this week it'll do everything it can to try and get the International Trade Administration Commission to change its decision not to give more tariff protection to wheat farmers. The chief commissioner at ITAC is Ayabonga Chawe.
The current $279 price floor continues to provide some duty coverage, and we saw earlier this year a triggering duties above 20% in this sector. So the mechanism continues to work, and the mechanism is able to absorb some of the price volatility.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by Absa Rewards. Get double cash back depending on your rewards tier when an African team scores and wins at the FIFA World Cup 2026, courtesy of Visa. Use your Absa Visa card at rewards partners on match days to score. Join Absa Rewards on the banking app. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
26 minutes after 9 o'clock. This is the 702 open line, the celebratory 702 open line, because we are so excited about how our boys played near Mexico early this morning. They beat South Korea 1-0, and they really gave it their all. I'm taking your calls and WhatsApps on that. Let's celebrate them, let's show them some love and send some positive vibes. They may be, sleeping now, or they're still celebrating. They're not hearing it, but in spirit, we are with them. We need to beat Canada on Sunday. They've got the confidence boost that they need now, and we just need to do what we gotta do on Sunday. So your thoughts on that, please. But also on your thoughts on the breaking news coming out of the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. Ket Matlala has now pleaded guilty, or intends to plead guilty. So he has entered a plea agreement with the state. And for me, I always get excited when I see, these plea agreements, because that means that these guys are going to start talking. They'll start singing. And they will be able to, all these guys who have even appeared at the Madlanga Commission and lied and said, no, that money was because I was dating him. Well, that's going to be challenged now. And I think that is what is at stakes here. Some of you are responding to that on the WhatsApp line on 0727021702.
Good morning again, Clement. With regard to the issue of Kat Matlala striking a deal with the MPA, I think the state just need to be very careful. They are dealing with a hard criminal here. This man cannot be trusted. But I also believe that the investigators and the commission, they will be able to figure it out if he is telling the truth. But bear in mind that people like the General Mkhana's name might be pop out in the midst of everything. Remember, he just appeared in Pretoria court recently, but nothing happened. So I think it's part of the plotting to arrest him. So that is why now Kat Matlala has turned out to be the state witness. Victor Slowville Pelandava.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
Morning. Yeah, I was up, made sure I was up 5 minutes before I watched the game. It was very tough, but the boys did so well. I mean, exciting moments for us and whatever happens, man. But we just glad we could see their fighting spirits, and that is us South Africans. You know, I wish South Africans realized that we are the powerhouse of Africa. And that's what we do. We fight and fight and fight until the end. So well done to the boys. This is Vuya from Boxback. Bye.
Yo, Clement, what a game. What a game. Set all alarms. I think I set like 5 alarms, eventually leading to the alarm at 2:30. But what a game. I think the boys have shown that they are able to compete on the world's biggest stage. I think now the call is for us as supporters to throw our support behind Bafana Bafana, as well as for corporate South Africa and even the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture to come to the table and look at how they can invest in building our talent from a grassroots level. We've been talking about this for decades, and I think it's time to elevate football to the levels where we see rugby being heavily invested in, you know, in primary schools, in townships, or in suburbs. So can you please do the same, especially for our soccer? Oh, what a match. Honors and uppers, Bafana.
Morning, Clement. Paul here from Johannesburg South. No, Clement, it's so hilly. At 3 o'clock in the morning, we're already awake, supporting Bafana Bafana, because, you know, they are there to represent us. And, you know, even if you don't believe in them, but a little bit of support will go a long way. And I'm proud to have woken up this morning, you know, to watch them play against South Korea. And I'm very optimistic that this Sunday we're going to go through and beat Canada and then go to the 16th round. Yeah, no. Ndizani Bafana Bafana, Ndizani.
9:30, time for the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. Fiso, good morning.
Thanks, Clements. Good morning. It's the breaking story this hour. Alleged underworld boss Vusmuzi Kat Matlala has agreed to plead guilty to fraud, corruption and money laundering charges. This is part of a plea deal with the NPA's investigating directorate against corruption. The agreement includes a sentence deviation, the details of which are yet to be determined by the court. Matlala is appearing in the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court this morning after his case was separated from those of his co-accused. In KZN, the Correctional Services Department says it will press ahead with disciplinary action against the province's suspended Correctional Services boss, Mnikelwa Ncele, despite his criminal case now being before the courts. Ncele appeared in the Pietermaritzburg Magistrates Court yesterday on charges of fraud and money laundering after being arrested by the NPA's investigating directorate against corruption. The suspended commissioner has previously claimed he was targeted for exposing alleged corruption within the department. And it continues to be an exciting morning for South Africa with celebrations for Bafana Bafana's historic achievement at the FIFA World Cup. The team beat South Korea 1-0 during the early morning game in Mexico. Tapelo Masego's goal sends Bafana to the knockout stages, making this the first time for South Africa. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
While traveling on the M2 West, traffic remains gridlocked between Silver Street and the Crown interchange. While heading towards the Joburg CBD, more traffic volumes along the Mark 1 North between Boysons Road and Empire Road. There's also queuing traffic in Sharonlee along Malibongwe Drive towards the N1. While heading towards Fourways, do anticipate a few delays on the N1 South approaching Winnie Mandela Drive. Traveling in the city of Tshwane, we still have got a bit of a hold-up reported on the R55 in the Atteridgeville area. This is just as you come out of the N4. Please be on the lookout there and drive with care. More updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
If you've got a small dog, you'll know they live big lives. But did you know that smaller dogs have unique needs and can benefit from eating food specially tailored to these needs? That's why Hill's Pet Nutrition has developed expert science-backed nutrition to help small dogs live their best lives. Whether for overall well-being or to address a specific health issue, there's a Hill's food for your dog. Hill's is available at your vet, pet specialty store, or online. Hill's Pet Nutrition. Science does more.
Sure, they aced it. The Championships Wimbledon experience with the Mzansi Advantage is back at Amex Tennistown Monte Casino between 11 and 12 July 2026. Enjoy VIP hospitality, the ultimate big screen experience, a kids fun zone, and so much more. Buy your tickets now on Howler and get 50% off on limited tickets when you use your Amex card. Tennis is better with Amex. American Express Cards is operated under license in South Africa by Nedbank, a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
The Dial-A-Bed annual sleep sale is now on with up to 33% off. The Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now only $8,999, and the 40-wing Smart Zone Medium Comfort Queen Set is reduced to $9,999. Save $6,500. Plus, get fast delivery on our best sellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
On Sunday, 26 July, the entire city unites for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk.
Walk the talk.
And because Joburg is more than just a city, we'll be walking for the people. So join us and help make a difference to homelessness in the city by entering on primemediaplus.com and donating vouchers.
Donate a voucher.
Which is a cashless way to give, helping people experiencing homelessness access a hot shower, a meal, a bed, or more support. Anybody can join and everybody can donate. 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter and donate now on primemediaplus.com.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's go back to your calls, your WhatsApps as well, celebrating Bafana Bafana's 1-0 win against South Korea and sending some positive vibes ahead of that match with Canada on Sunday in the knockout round, which is something we've never really done, ever. So this is quite historic. It's a big deal. We're also talking about what's currently taking place in Pretoria at the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. Clement Manyathela has entered a plea deal with the state. He struck a deal with the state in the Medicare 24 corruption case. So he has entered a plea deal, and you know what that means. He's likely to start revealing it all. And there are certain people who've been lying to us who are now going to be faced with the very same person who has given them corrupt money, confirming under oath that he has. So they're going to be in trouble, I think.
Good morning, Mr. Clement. In regards to the deal being struck with the Clement Manyathela with his case, that goes to show now that the government must look after him, provide him for protection 24/7, right up until the case is finished. From just having him locked up and being treated as a normal inmate, we now have to look after him and make sure he stays alive, which I feel is just a waste of time. And what happens if he turns around and agrees with everything what was said by the people that accused or taking money from him, that yes, the money was given because of they assisted him in this and they assisted him in that, then what happens?
Morning, Clem.
Even if Cat only gets 10 years, but he takes out the entire corruption in our police force, our army, our intelligence, the Justice Department, all of those. If he takes out the rot, it will be the reset we need in this country.
Yeah.
So we're moving in the right direction. Well done to all the people working in the Matlanga Commission.
Oh, listen, I agree with you. Honestly, I'm also willing to accept 10 years. You know, I'm always quite critical of plea deals because I also do find that sometimes they're too, what's the word to use? For instance, the VBS mutual bank, the corruption that took place at VBS, the plea deals that like even the CFOs at VBS got, I mean, it was quite wild because they got out of jail after 3 years. But I'm saying in this case, I'm okay with Ket Matlala spending 10 years or 15 years in jail, as long as, because also remember, this is not the only case he's going to face. So, and I'm talking about in this case, because there are other charges, right? So in this charge where he's pleading guilty, I'm okay with 10, 15 on condition that he reveals it all. He takes down the rest of these corrupt cops and business people that he has worked with. I would be okay with that. It's 22 now, before 10.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
Sister, you're calling us from Q. Good morning.
Clement, uizile airtime yamakhuwa marulukile. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Just joking, man.
I know.
Clement, I was up at 3. I mean, I'm usually up at 4 for Africa Malani's show. So this time I thought, let me watch Bafana Bafana at 3. So I was up. I mean, the first half was very frustrating, to be honest. They just like, I don't understand. They had the upper hand, but I don't know what is wrong with Bafana Bafana wanting to score a perfect goal. Take your chances when you have opportunities. I mean, if you saw that bounce back, that bounce back was an opportunity for us to score.
Yeah.
You can, I mean, there I was screaming in my house. I'm sure my neighbors were thinking, what the hell is wrong with this one? I woke up people because I thought, my goodness, there's an opportunity. Why aren't we using these to our best, to the best of our ability?
Yeah.
But anyway, they played and, look, this history has been made and well done to them. They should be okay with us criticizing them highly when we are disappointed in them because we celebrate them just as much.
Yeah.
I mean, we sacrifice our sleeps for them to just watch them and celebrate them. So they should be
So
okay.
they must
not
deliver,
cry.
yeah.
No,
But I also think we must
cry.
also be constructive, sister, in our criticism because, hey, sometimes we can be hectic as SA fans. Like, sometimes we call them useless and, those things are demoralizing. So maybe constructive criticism is what we should strive for.
You know what, Clement? One has to learn that criticism will come in different forms, and you are to take what will build you, not what will destroy you. Because if you are to focus on the negativity, all of us would not be where we are. Because I mean, we were criticized throughout our lives. We picked the ones that were building us, not the ones that were destroying us. So
absolutely,
is needed in that. On a quick one regarding Ket Matlala. Look, Clement. I think this plea bargain is exciting and not exciting in the other hand because what are the chances that Matlala will sing to the last peak of what really happened with this Medicare, tender?
But remember, we've got his phone, sister. We've got all the WhatsApp text. So at least the NPA is working off a base of communications that prove corruption against certain people who have come out to say, no, we were not corrupt with this man. So he doesn't have a choice, but the condition must be you have to tell us everything. And if he's not telling them everything, then this can't continue.
I am hoping that will be the case, Clement. We cannot be naive and not realize that our law systems actually are the ones that fails us, even when the case is out there and in the open, and somebody needs to be, taken to task. So we need to celebrate this with like that caution to say, hey, we hope there's something that comes out of it, because you can tell Ket Matlala had all of these people in his he had them in his hand, like all of them, all these politicians. So I'm hoping something will come out of it.
I hope so too.
The cases that he's involved in, because this is just a Medicare.
Absolutely.
And in those ones, then they can really find and really now take him to task and prosecute him as well, because he can't just walk away from scot-free. We cannot be trusting criminals here to say because they're saying therefore they must be walking out free. He needs to be prosecuted also for other crimes that he's committed, and that's my take on that.
Yeah. So, sister, thank you so much for that. So, who's the Deputy National Commissioner who was suspended, man? The first one to be suspended, the one who's at the center of it all. Sibiya, yes. Shadrach Sibiya. You know, Shadrach Sibiya is not facing any charges as we speak. He's not. And yet, we've got evidence that's been presented at the Madlanga Commission, which indicates that there may have been some exchange of monies between him and Ket Matlala. So when I say that this man is going to go down with a lot of people, think about that. Shadrach Sibiya may also go down. He has to explain, Ket Matlala, that I went to his house when his son was getting married or there was a birthday celebration, and this is the amount of money I gave him. He must be able to come out and say, those buffaloes, was it the buffaloes or impalas? Impalas that were also sent, and this was organized by Witness Skimang. What witness? Can I get witness? The one who didn't want to be revealed but ended up being revealed. I'm forgetting his name. Was it Witness D? No, but we know his name now. I'm forgetting his name now. But he's the one who was raised by the taxi boss, and used to call the taxi boss dad, and the one who was also involved in the tenders there in Tshwane. He was facilitating for those impalas that transaction seemingly between Shadrach Sibiya and Ket Matlala. So there are a few people that are still not facing charges today, but evidence has been overwhelming at the Madlanga Commission that there's been a transaction between them and Ket. Ket has to give us the names and the evidence so that those people go down with him, or else this plea deal really can't hold. Polani, you're calling us from Orange Farm. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you, James?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
Thanks. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Bafana Bafana for their win. Then secondly, you remember last week you had your guest and I called and I was so furious, like I was angry. But nonetheless, it's nothing. Who said, actually I wanted to win when they said, no, we are stealing you in this, in FIFA World Cup. Then I was cross because it doesn't take that as far as I'm concerned. You need to be committed only. You know, if I can tell you that I used to favor Swallows long time ago. I stopped because I saw that they were losing. Then I was like, because you know when you are passionate, when you love something, then you become like, these people are hating me. Then I stopped favoring any team. Then until that, I decided to just go along with Pirates. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is anything is possible. For them to say, no, we are still new. There are two guys who just said we got this imposter syndrome. And they were right. We can do it, Clement. That's what I can tell you. There's nothing. It's just that sometimes I watch them. I used to play football. They sometimes sleep on the... And actually, if you can notice, we have to lose first before we can play well. That's what they do.
Yeah, true. Olani. That's why, as I was saying earlier, it's almost like they perform the best when they're under pressure, when the odds are against them. Tsepang on the WhatsApp line, thank you for reminding me of the name of Sergeant Fanning Kosi. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the witness who was caught in everything, really. And yeah, Ket must also tell us more about that man because, my goodness, I honestly wouldn't want to see that man back in uniform. We cannot have such characters in our SAPS. They deserve to be in a different kind of uniform. One with the color orange, maybe, behind bars, for the rest of their lives. It's 14 minutes before 10.
Johannesburg is calling. Join thousands of Joburgers on Sunday, 26 July for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank. Experience the energy and spirit of the City of Gold as you walk through the historic streets of Joburg CBD, celebrating a city on the rise. As an iconic brand deeply connected to Johannesburg, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement that's bringing communities together and showcasing the best of Josie. Starting and finishing at Ellis Park, this This is more than a walk. It's a celebration of our city and its growth journey. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
A tectonic shift in world rugby is coming. 12 nations, 2 groups, one defining rivalry. And in the biggest game of the year, England comes to Ellis Park to take on the mighty Springboks on July 4th. Expect fireworks as the Red Roses travel to the Highveld. The Nations Championship is where hemispheres collide. Get your tickets now, only from Ticketmaster.
Calling all wedding planners and venues, restaurants, conference centers, and hotels. Do you need tables and chairs? Home in One has it all. Do you need cutlery, crockery, table linen, and restaurant equipment? Home in One has it all. Do you need tents, gazebos, or umbrellas? Home in One has it all. Affordable prices, the latest trends, with 2 branches in Pretoria and Johannesburg. Shop online at homein1.co.za because we're your #1 choice. Home in One has it all.
My name is Richard Sutton, and I'm the host of the podcast Shift Happens. This podcast is about you and the seasons of growth, change, and transformation that shape who you become. My guests are people who have walked long, difficult roads and along the way developed the tools and skills they needed not just to survive, but to thrive and make a real impact in the world. So if you're feeling stuck, uncertain, or searching for what's next, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Shift Happens. Now streaming on primemediaplus.com, the Prime Media Plus app, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Your voice. Your station. Your open line. Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela on 702.
11 minutes before 10 o'clock. Back to your calls on 011-883-0702. Jabu, let's start with you. You're calling us from Fourways. Good morning.
Morning, Clement. Congratulations to Bafana. I wish Temba Nkosi Lodge was there. Yeah, so I think we'll be.
Where is he? Is he still in Libya?
Yeah, he's in Libya.
Yeah.
He's earning very good.
He's with our coach there.
Indeed. Yeah, he's earning very good money indeed.
Yeah.
Look, Clement, I mean, concerning the issue of Ket Matlala, I think Ket Matlala, anyway, he had already started singing when he indicated that Bheki Cele took 500,000 from him and all these other things. I think what Ket Matlala is doing, this is a very good strategy because he feels betrayed. If you look at Ket Matlala's cases, they're divided into 2. The first is these tenders where you've got police and everyone involved. So the police that he used to pay money to, they failed to manage to stop his arrest, like Sibia, Kwele, Kumalo, all of these people. So and if you look at Medicare guy Van Wyk was going into, I think, EWN and then trying to secure. Now he's calling himself a whistleblower, meaning that anyway he was going to sing against Ket Matlala. So Ket, in this instance, he is actually going after people that have betrayed him, people whom he has paid monies and they failed to deliver because he did deliver the monies, but they failed to stop his arrest.
Is he going to be safe though, Jabu? Because I'm worried now because there's certain people whom it's not in their interest for this man to stay alive, and I hope they're going to guard him with everything possible.
Yeah, so what happens now is that, remember, Kwanazi wanted Ket Matlala to be at Ebongweni. Why? Because they don't know. You see, when you're at Ebongweni, lawyers cannot access you and the like. So when he's at Ebongweni, he cannot implicate, he cannot consult whatever. Okay, my second point is this. Ket Matlala has got his blood, he's got his blood buddies. Like your Mulifes, and he's got other cases like the drugs, the murder, attempted murders. On those, there's no direct proof of Ket. So Ket is not throwing under the bus his blood buddies. He is throwing under the bus the people that are convenient, people who are actually also singing against him and so forth and the like. Because if you look at the attempted murder case, the drugs issue, the Swart, DJ somebody's murder, I mean, Ket is not, it's just rumor and the like, is not directly implicated. But when it comes to the police who he feels betrayed him and these Van Wyk guys, and I think they is going to sing. And then his girlfriend that he had within procurement, those are just pawns that unfortunately they have to go down.
Yeah, can I get married that girlfriend? Yeah. And she was telling us that no. We were dating. That's why he was sending me all those monies. Rachel Macheng. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment of a cop we are supposed to trust in and believe that they care about the interests of this country and the safety of this country. I hope he also speaks about that woman. Let's go to Lebogang now, who's calling us from Bryanston. Lebogang, good morning.
Hi, hello Clement.
Hey,
Oh
Tada.
gosh, I'm having an amazing morning.
All right.
Because we set the alarm, we woke up and we found the only sports bar that was open at 3:00 and we watched the game.
Wait, there was a
Rosebank.
spot open at 3 a.m.?
Yes, we were in Rosebank in a room full of fans and screaming our head off and singing the national anthem, and it was just the most amazing experience ever. So yeah,
that's
it was
beautiful.
definitely worth getting up this morning.
Are you at work now, Lebogang?
I'm only on my way now.
Good luck. It's going to be a long day for you.
I can feel it's going to be a long day, but it was very, very much worth it.
Yeah, it was. Hey, Lebogang in Bryanston, thank you. Buitumelo, you're in Westine. Hi.
Clem,
Hey, Tada.
I'm a very happy person today. First of all, Clem, but this boys played very, very well. And one thing that we need to be happy about is close to 90% of these players play in our local league. So our local league is strong. We need to really be appreciative to the PSL. And I also like the way Yaya came back from that red card and everybody ridiculing him on the first game, and he played very, very well yesterday. People should know that Maseko played in a DDC about 12 months ago. Now he's got a goal in World Cup. So this is a very positive sign for South African football. But let's support the team. Either they lose, it's our team. We don't have another team, so let's support them. You know, people were not wearing their shirts at work after the first game. I said, why? But why? Yeah, but why? He said, no, why are they losers? No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But well done to the boys. Really, what a game. I mean, somebody was praying from Korea, and my son said, we also God loves us. So, not only you. So yeah, it was such an emotional morning this morning.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Buitumelo, thank you, man. Thank you for your call. Duncan, you're in Cape Town. What do you want to say about this deal between Matlala and the NPA? Good morning.
Morning, Clemens. I think that the NPA should use the same strategy that the FBI used in the 80s to bring down the 5 crime families in New York. They got Sammy the Bull Gravano to testify or to turn government witness. He basically took John Gotti down, Vicarina from the Colombo family, all of the Windows case. If you had an order of concrete in the 80s that was over $2 million, 2% of that automatically went to the mob. The Windows case, every single thing, and he confessed to 19 murders, and one of those murders was even his brother-in-law.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, he got 5 years. But the plus side of that, the entire empire came crashing down, and today it is a shadow of its former self.
Yeah. No, we need him as a government witness.
And also,
thank you.
Matlala is not the main guy that needs to be taken down, although he is in a way. But the people in the police, they take an oath, and that for me, we wanted it's an investigation into the criminal justice system, not into the criminals. You wanted that's basically into the justice system, not the criminal system.
I agree with you, Duncan. I absolutely agree with you. Thank you for your call in Cape Town.
Morning, Clem, Tato. Great show as always. What a game, worth every moment spent up. And forget that I have a full day ahead of me today. It was worth every moment. I was up at 3 with my 11-year-old. He promised me he'd be in bed by 6:37 so that we can watch the game together, and it was amazing. It was worth us waking everyone up in the house at every moment that they took. And the boys, like Mkwanazi said, were at war. There was blood on that field. So well done to the boys. I'm glad that they listened to Ntate Mkwanazi. And I guess also shout out to Louis Vuitton. Because a blesser will tell you that often if you gift an LV bag, performance improves. Look what the boys did. Love you, Clem.
Oh, man. That is so funny. That is so funny. Oh, yeah. We're so excited, hey? I saw a tweet by John Robbie. It says, well done, Bafana Bafana. It wasn't pretty, but my goodness, the effort qualified now. So no pressure. Relax and go for it. Sport can unite us. Politicians take note. I love this country. That's what he posted. And my goodness, don't we all feel that? Don't we all feel like we love this country? Let's bask in this excitement. It's 3 minutes before 10.
What is special about this year's 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk is that it returns to where Walk the Talk all started, where we'll be walking in the inner city, celebrating the resurgence of the city of Johannesburg and celebrating the people who make it special. You should take part in this year's 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk because there's so much good stuff happening in the city of Johannesburg. The city is having a moment, and it's thanks to people and organizations who never stopped believing in the power and the magic of the city. So this year, I can't wait to be at the start of this momentous 702 Walk the Talk. I haven't been to Ellis Park in many, many years. So while I might not see you on the route, I'll definitely be at the beginning to see you off as you begin your journey through the inner city. To enter the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, go to primemediaplus.com and we'll see you there on the 26th of July.
Got a bright spark between the ages of 10 and 13 at home? Then get them ready for the Whiz Quiz with Bongani being what? 10 questions, 10 chances, up to 10,000 Rand waiting to be won. Every night, answer bags, $100. Nail them all, and they'll score the full 10 grand. Sign up now on primemediaplus.com. Then catch Bongani Bingwa weekday mornings on 702 to hear if your young genius will take their quiz where brains turn into bugs, because smart kids win big on 702.
Your friend's cell phone just got stolen. Now they're using yours to find out if it was covered outside of their home. Turns out it wasn't. Meanwhile, Santam covers your cell phone anywhere, along with your laptop and smartwatch. Even your bicycle would be covered, if you could ride one. You insured nice, not twice. Get cover for your valuables online or call 0860 444 444 to get a quote. Santam, this is freedom. Santam is an authorized FSP, a licensed non-life insurer and a controlling company for its group companies.
Guess what? The Dis-Chem 2+1 Health Foods Weekend is back. Simply add any 3 health foods to your basket and get the cheapest one free. We're talking anything from muesli, health oils, spices, teas, coffee, honey, and more. Remember, when you choose Better Rewards brands, you get 10% off instantly on top of the deal. Don't miss Dis-Chem's 2+1 Health Foods Weekend, Friday 26 to Sunday 28 June. Only at Dis-Chem. Better health starts here.
It's your last chance to enter. Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is closing entries soon. This year, we're celebrating entrepreneurs who have turned personal challenges into businesses that make a real difference. Catch 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa every morning to meet the finalists and hear their inspiring stories. Go to igniteyourbusiness.co.za or primemediaplus.com to enter. You could win 200,000 Rand and the recognition your business deserves. T's and C's apply. See money differently. Nedbank, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. It's the developing story out of the capital. Alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Ketmatlala has agreed to plead guilty to fraud, corruption and money laundering charges against him. This is linked to a controversial multi-million rand SAPS tender awarded to his company Medicare 24 Tshwane. The plea forms parts of an agreement reached with the NPA's anti-corruption unit. Matlala is appearing in the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court this morning. Nkosi Khona Malingamnisi is in the capital and joins us now live. Nkosi Khona, the state's high-profile corruption case against Matlala has taken a dramatic turn.
That's right, Cecil. The court hearing this morning that he intends to plead guilty to all the said charges. The plea agreement was struck between Matlala and the NPA's investigating directorate against corruption and includes a deviation from the prescribed sentence. Although the exact terms will ultimately be determined by the court. Matala stands accused of playing a central role in alleged irregularities surrounding the controversial 228 million rand SAPS tender awarded to his company, that's Medicaid 24, Tshwane District. The contract we saw has been mired in allegations of corruption, fraud, and improper influence. His appearance in court this morning follows the separation of his matter from that of his co-accused, paving the way for the plea and sentence agreement to be considered independently. Now, Swiso, the court has heard that Matala has maintained his intention to plead guilty since his initial court appearance. The plea and sentence agreement is now before the magistrate, who must decide whether to ratify the deal. For Eyewitness News, I'm Kosi Maningamisi reporting live in Pretoria.
In Gauteng, police say there will be nowhere to hide for anyone planning to incite violence or break the law during the anti-illegal immigration protest next Tuesday. Provincial Commissioner Tommy Mtombeni says a massive security operation, including helicopters, drones, and more than 33,000 CCTV cameras will be deployed to monitor any protest action. We cross now live to Mongezi Gogo in the south of Johannesburg. Mongezi, the police bosses are promising a tight operation for next Tuesday.
That's right, Fiso. Briefing the media at the Eldorado Park police station, Mtombeni says authorities would be watching events on the ground and from the air. The commissioner says police will use a combination of helicopters, drones and extensive CCTV network to track any criminal activity and identify those responsible. He warned that while some arrests may be effected on the day, others would follow after suspects are identified through video footage and other evidence.
At the later stage, we come and knock in your door. We say you are under arrest. There are people who think that they can get away. Don't get into that play.
Now, Fiso, the comments come as Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia has repeatedly warned that criminality, intimidation, incitement of violence and the destruction of property will not be tolerated. Government has already set aside more than 600 million rand for a national security operation ahead of June 30th. Gauteng is considered one of several key provinces being closely monitored as authorities prepare for any eventuality. Mongezi Gogo, Eyewitness News, reporting live in Eldorado Park.
And celebrations continue as excitement continues in the country for South Africa with celebrations for Bafana Bafana's historic achievement at the FIFA World Cup. The team beat South Korea 1-0 during the early morning game in Mexico. Tapelo Masego's goal sends Bafana to the knockout stages, making this a first for South Africa. And here's what some South Africans had to say.
So we're very proud of the boys. I didn't know they can play cricket, rugby and soccer, so it's very nice to play in the knockouts.
I'm feeling very excited. I think we did well after 16 years of trying. I think, exciting times.
I was very surprised but very excited. And I think South Africa is a country of winners. So let's see how far our boys can go.
Gold is trading at $3,971.50 an ounce. The rand is at 16.65 to the dollar, 21.83 to the pound, 18.82 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $72.60 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we still have got heavy traffic volumes along the M1 North. This is between Boyson's Road and Empire Road. This is due to an earlier accident. While traveling on the N3 North towards Marlborough, do expect heavy traffic volumes coming out of Greenstone Shopping Centre. This is due to an accident right near Vincent Chabalala Road.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 23 degrees. The developing story in EWN this hour. Alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Katmatlala has agreed to plead guilty to fraud, corruption and money laundering charges against him.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD.
7:02
Walk the Talk. Abize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 10 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702. We are on a high this morning, hey? All of us. We are on a serious high. And I really hope that on Monday next week, we're gonna be on the same high. When we, not if, but when we beat Canada at 9 p.m. on Sunday. But thank you so much for all of your calls, your contributions on the 702 open line. As we celebrated our boys. And we also talked about this breaking news around Clement Manyathela and this plea deal that he has struck with the state. Let's hope he's going to start singing and he has to go down with all of those corrupt cops that have been defending themselves and claiming, no, we didn't benefit anything from him. Remember, at 11 o'clock, we're going to do our Thursday dialogue. And today, I'm going to be asking you, what matters more to you as a voter? Is it ideology? Is it service delivery? What do you care most about? Because some of you don't like Herman Mashaba or you don't like Helen Ziller, but you do have a bit of confidence that they may be able to provide or run a municipality or a metro that delivers services. Or maybe you actually disagree with the ideology of the different political parties, but you actually like the people that they've put up as candidates. How do you navigate then that dynamic? That's a conversation we're going to have at 11 o'clock. But right now, we start with our Hanging Out feature.
Hanging Out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
And on our Hanging Out feature this morning, we've got one of the most amazing actors, really, this country has ever produced. I was actually thinking, which character does she play best? But any character you can think of, she's really embodied it and played it so incredibly. Zikhona Sodlaka is joining us in studio this morning. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you
Zikhona,
so much.
good morning.
Good morning.
You look so beautiful.
I make a habit of that. Thank you so much.
You are quite intentional about that. I love it. Thank you so much for coming through. We really appreciate it. You really are one of really the best that this country has ever produced. And I wonder if you sometimes sit and you reflect on your career and you think, oh my God, like I've actually done good and I'm proud of myself. Do you have those moments?
You know, one is getting into the habit of looking back and patting themselves on the back. And I sometimes, Clement, say it's a flaw women have. We don't congratulate ourselves as much as we should. But I'm definitely wiggling myself out of that. And, you know, there is something to look back at and say, you're 21. We're 21 years young in the game. And there's been a lot that we've done. Quite a lot.
There's a lot, yeah. I do think that society is also sort of, we've been socialized to believe that congratulating ourselves is a bad thing because then you are full of yourself.
But don't you think it's just a South African thing where we don't like to congratulate?
You're probably right.
There are other nations that are congratulating themselves for crossing the street.
Yeah. Yes, for crossing who's that tall hip hop star?
Snoop Dogg. I just want to congratulate myself.
Exactly.
I did this.
Yes.
It's
we need to do that.
A lot more.
Yeah,
There's
we
so
need to do
much.
that a lot more.
Congratulations on winning the game yesterday. You South African.
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes. Look at what we did. And on Sunday we're going to beat Canada. I'm so confident.
Watch
of that.
this.
I'm so confident in that. So let's talk about how you really knew that this is what you want to do. At what point did you say, I want to actually do acting and take it up as a profession?
So, I mean, when we do the math, we realize that, without exposing our age, but 21 years ago, we were, 19, 20?
Yeah.
And at that time, I mean, if you take yourself back to 19, 20 years old, 20 years ago, you'll remember that, we weren't necessarily so clued up about the industry of the arts as much as everyone is right now. I don't know, was there Google? I don't think there was Google. All we had was what we see, the stars that we watch and the soapies that we watch. I always reference Days of Our Lives and The Bold and the Beautiful. That's what I had at 19, 20. So you don't know. You know, you really, really don't. I did know, though, early that I do want to go and study something in the arts. I thought I was going to study dance, But I just couldn't make it make sense to my dad, who was like, "Kuzofunda, what do you mean? What do you mean you want to? What do you mean you want to study dance? What do dancers do?" I couldn't back it up.
Like you dance
But
for fun,
fate
not
had
to
a
get
different-
paid.
Yes. Fate had a different plan for me. As
Yeah.
soon as I landed in Joburg at about 20, it found me and made me what it wanted me to be.
Do you remember the one project that really like catapulted you to like? Do you think Cha-Cha was that?
I mean, look, there was no other project before
because
Cha-Cha.
after that,
There was no project before Cha-Cha. There was no. That was
the first one?
debut. Yes.
But did you not do like some babies and this thing on Generations or
no
like
an extra, a
extra,
gig as an
did
extra.
you not do extras?
But when I
Yeah.
was going through my resume last night, because I knew I would be talking to you about this, so I'm writing and I filled the page, and at the bottom I write a cameo appearance on Isidingo. So I had a cameo. It was a one call. That's when I knew that okay, there might be something. I had a cameo. It was a jail scene. It was when Isidingo was hot. Isidingo was hot forever. Its entire life.
Crazy.
That little pickaninny might have been the thing that
Did you have
went.
dialogue or you were
Yeah,
just
I
an
did.
extra?
I had
You
like
had to smile.
I need to find. I work with an archivist here.
Yeah.
She's probably going to find. I need to find that scene, and
Yeah.
that was before it all. Like maybe a
Yeah.
couple of weeks or a couple of months before I actually broke and debuted on that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, on the show.
Yeah.
Cha-Cha, the best Xhosa show of
The
its time.
best, yeah. Oh man, I was
Yeah.
actually reflecting when I was just thinking about. We've had some really amazing productions. in this
Yes, we
country, guys.
have.
I'm sorry, we have had some
100%.
moving, like quite defining productions in this country, and Cha-Cha was definitely one of them.
100%. We got an Emmy nomination.
Yes, an Emmy nomination for that. What did that mean for you, just personally? Because I mean, you now become famous, and then I'm sure people now we want to work with her because you are so incredible in how you portray that character. How did things change for you as an individual?
I mean, I invite you to just play this in your mind with me. Imagine you're 20 years old. You're getting to join a show that you were watching because I joined season 4 of 3 and 4, which were, so 2 successful seasons had existed before that. I'm from the Eastern Cape. This is a show based in isiXhosa. It's based in the Eastern Cape. I know this show with all of my heart. I know all the characters. So now you're invited to join as the new lead. The storyline is changing and changing to you. So it's not only a fame game. I don't know if the fame was a big thing, again, 20 years ago, as much as it is now. But you get to work with people that you've been eyeing the entire time. I met Usisvati Swandaga, one of the best actresses in South Africa. I met her in that show. I debuted with her. She played my mom. I met one of the best leading men in South Africa, Hlomla Dandala, on that show. I met the late, great Mamnomhle Nkonyeni on that show. Zolisa Xalova on that show. People who've gone on to become icons, the face of the country, what you call a performing artist of note, were in that show, and I debuted with them. So for me, it's about that. That's what it did to me. It said, okay, cool. I'm sharing a room with some of the greatest in this country. What does that mean for me? How do okay, take me, please. Mold me and make me.
At that age.
At that age.
So we've had Vatiswa on this feature.
Incredible.
Oh, what an amazing actress.
Human being as well.
And then you guys did Igazi together.
We did do Igazi
That was so
together.
amazing. I was so obsessed. How did you prepare for a character like that?
I'm going to be.
What was your reference point?
Kitao Shata. Well, how are you going to have a reference for a witch?
Yes, that's what I'm like. We tell her.
And if I tell you, I'm going to have to, you're going to have to pay me because there's a method behind that madness. But true, Clement.
We believed it.
You're playing a witch.
Yeah.
There's no reference. I mean, except for your wildest imagination, really.
Yes.
And there's so many techniques that you can use. I'll drop one little second of like a technique. You know, sometimes you can use something that you do. If there's a spiritual practice that you participate in, sometimes you can lend it to a different practice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
absolutely. It looks the same, but it's worshipping a different thing.
Did you enjoy playing that character? Like, was it? And I don't want to ask you, was it the most enjoyable character you've ever? You can't do that. But did you have fun playing it? Like, was it fun? Was it demanding? Was it challenging?
I mean, the nature of the job is challenging. 12 to 16 hours a day on set. That's something to talk about. You do eventually get used to the fact that the job itself is demanding and difficult. But then when you jump into the actual story and who you're playing with, most of the time, I think the sweet spot is in who you get to share stage with. Playing with Usisvatiswa, Anga, Andile Neblan, all of those people who were in the show made it so beautiful. I had too much fun. I think too much fun, me and Sisvatiswa. It must have something to do with the fact that really I was playing a character that no one can reference.
Yeah.
So I am enticing an audience to what kind of person a person like that could have been such a...
You took us in your imagination.
Absolutely.
But there are certain scenes I used to see and I was like, these guys are improvising. Like because you can tell that this was such a natural moment. It was such a... Nobody had to script that. Nobody had to sit in the board meeting and say, this is... It just came out naturally between the two of you, and I think that's why I was so obsessed.
Clement, then I might as well say that you're improvising now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being good at your job must look like
you are.
This is not created. I mean, the writers were writing, and that's the gig is make it look like life.
Yeah.
So you never know.
I love that. So one of the other reasons why I like you so much is that...
Say it again. Say it one more time.
One
wait,
of
wait,
the other
wait,
reasons...
Can I have horns?
No,
you guys don't have horns. Oh, so you.
We must borrow horns from 947, our sister station. Is because your music taste.
Oh.
When I saw the songs, I was like, no wonder I actually like her so much because we are aligned.
Yeah.
So tell me about Zoe's song, Isekazini, because this is one of my favorite songs. In fact, that entire album is crazy.
She's a verb. Zoe
wild.
Modiga. She's such a depiction of excellence. She's a depiction of what we are achieving in this generation, in this time. Because if you think about it, we have the great Miriam Makebas, we have so many names, the great Hughes, but who's following in those footsteps? And she's come in and she said, this is what we do. This is what you guys have taught us. And I feel it's quite reminiscent of what we are doing, even in the film world, to say, this is who we are. We are taking over from the late Mamunomhle and everybody else. And that's what she says in the song. She says, it's inevitable. This thing I have, it's a Kazini, babes. Like I didn't buy this. I didn't. You cannot take it away. And then she sings like a charm, and she's gorgeous, and she just she's just amazing. This time, so her and the song, I thought maybe I should bless Clement in South Africa.
You're blessing us. Zoe Modiga, Isekazini. Isekazini. Oh, Zoe Mudicha.
Of course, yes.
What a blessing.
And
of
I
an
was just
artist.
saying, if you can't relate, you can't relate.
Yeah, you can't. You can't force yourself to. All right. 011-883-0702 is the number to dial. We're hanging out with Zikona Sodlaka on our Hanging Out feature this morning. Send your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. It's 24 after 10.
In fitness, as in finance, endurance is key. If you're 55 and older, you can get an interest rate of up to 10.25% with a Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. Now, feel the earn. Invest within 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. See money differently. Nedbank, we're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. For more info, go to nedbank.co.za.
This July, experience a world premiere unlike anything Johannesburg has seen before. The Bakai, an African choral ballet, is a first-of-its-kind collaboration between Joburg Ballet, UJ Arts and Culture, the acclaimed University of Johannesburg Choir, and a live chamber orchestra from the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra. A bold reimagining of Euphorides' timeless classic. This spectacular production fuses ballet, African choral music, and live orchestral performance into one unforgettable theatrical event. See it from the 3rd to the 12th of July at the Mandela Theatre at the Joburg Theatre. Book now at Web Tickets. The Bakai, an African choral ballet, a landmark world premiere. Don't miss it.
Work doesn't start when employees arrive at the office. It starts with family responsibilities, financial pressures, and the challenges of everyday life. And when life feels overwhelming, performance suffers. That's why Gaelo Lifestyle provides confidential, emotional, financial, legal, and well-being support for employees and their families. Because when people feel supported, they're more focused and ready to perform. Gaelo Lifestyle. Visit gaelo.co.za.
The Dial-A-Bed annual sleep sale is now on with up to 33% off. The Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now only $8,999, and the 40-wink Smart Zone Medium Comfort Queen Set is reduced to $9,999. Save $6,500. Plus, get fast delivery on our best sellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
Every day, South African families make impossible choices. Do you buy food? Do you pay for electricity? Or keep a roof over your head? For millions of households, these aren't hypothetical questions. They are daily realities. So today, on 7:02 Afternoon Drive with John Perman, we'll be speaking to the Discam Foundation about South Africa's hidden hunger crisis and why access to nutritious food remains a challenge. Tune in for a meaningful conversation about the problem, the solutions, and the people working to make a difference. The Discam Foundation, caring for their community. Every swipe counts on 7:02.
Hanging out with Clement
on 7:02.
Let's walk the talk.
27 minutes after 10 o'clock. I'm embarrassed.
You should be.
I'm really embarrassed.
You should be.
So
must I tell them what happened?
I guess.
So there's a South Africans. Hello, my friends. Hello, Madase. So he's got the list of the songs I've chosen, and he says, "Oh, this is a lovely listen. We're talking about music, and we're talking about all the stuff that you don't know, all the music that you don't know." And then you're like, "Who's techno?" Which we might play. And then Mahu, because there's a song that's and you're like, "Who's Mahu?"
Abel, you know him?
Oh,
hey, oh,
it's you don't know? No. Okay, so there's a
maybe I know the song.
You definitely know the song. It's the most one of the greatest musicians that's existing right now. You
Local
know, there's a
artist?
genre called amapiano, which I
Yes.
think is house. I don't know. I mean, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
As a house head, when piano came, it became a great transition. So Mahu.
Okay.
Works
Okay,
with
then we have
Kabza.
to play Mahu then after the headlines.
Why not?
Yeah, let's start with Mahu.
Shut
Because
up.
I'd really like to know more about her.
Shut
Here's a WhatsApp
up.
voice note that's come through on 072 702 and 702.
Good morning, Ntate Manyathela and the 702 listeners. Lebito la ka ke Nazo. I worked on Igazi. I worked on Chacha 1, 2, 3. You have a legend Ngari in the studio there. Someone who is humble. If you can just sit with her for 5 minutes, everything which they tell you about her, you would see, no, they're not telling the truth. A humble human being, a humble person. Ne? Here, when you ask her about the witch there, Goigazi, she used to put hands into the pot, boiling pot.
Yes.
On the screen, yeah, the pot was boiling, but I used to do the magic because I was the art director there, I was the props master there, so we did magic. So let's give her flowers while she can smell them. Sisi,
yes.
uyazi siyakuthanda man.
Oh my goodness.
Umsebenzi wakho, ichwe njalo ntombam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Keleboha.
Beautiful. Oh, and that Xhosa, you killed it, my brother. Hey? Oh, that's beautiful.
It is.
So beautiful. Sagori on the WhatsApp line says, good morning, Clement. Oh, Zikona is an African beauty. Malaika, African original.
Oh,
Please
my.
keep it up, my sister.
Thank you.
And then Okuhle says, Clement, good morning to you and the 702 team. Please
morning.
read this WhatsApp to that beautiful lady there with you. Please ask her if she remembers being at Zero to Hero Agency.
Oh, so this is where it started. My career was started by the owner of that agency. He's the one who said to me, I need to take you somewhere. And he took me to an audition. Remember, I didn't study to be an actress, especially at that time. That's the guy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Well, it's 10:30. Let's get the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. And I can't wait to hear Mahu's song after the headlines. Spisa, good morning. Do you know Mahu, Spisa?
Yeah, I do know Mahu.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys don't plug me.
You're going to feel like you know this
What's
guy.
in the headlines?
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court has accepted alleged crime boss Vusmuzi Matlala's guilty plea in his fraud, corruption and money laundering case. This is linked to a controversial multi-million rand SAPS tender awarded to his company, Medicare 2420 District. The plea forms part of an agreement reached with the NPA's anti-corruption unit. Evidence leaders at the Matlala Commission want the panel of commissioners to consider recommending the prosecution of controversial businessman Suleiman Karim if he fails to appear again. Karim's testimony has been postponed for a third time after claiming to be medically unfit to testify following an alleged heart attack earlier this year. The commission has now granted the submission to postpone his testimony to 15 July. And Gauteng police say anyone won't hide for ahead of the planned anti-immigration protests in the province. The Provincial Commissioner Tomim Tombeni says a massive security operation, including helicopters, drones, and more than 33,000 CCTV cameras, will be deployed to monitor any protest action on Tuesday. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, traveling in Alexandra, we've got a major accident scene on the N3 North. It happened near Vincent Chabalala Road. It's unfortunately causing heavy delays, so please be on the lookout there and approach with care. While traveling on the M2 West towards Amalgam, we've got delays between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. If you're heading towards Eldorado Park, we've got queuing traffic on the N12 West just as you approach Klipspruit Valley Road. Please be on the lookout there. Then in the city of Tshwane, some issues along the R55. This is just as you approach Pierre van Reineveld Road, so please be on the lookout there, especially if you're coming out of the N4. We'll have more traffic updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The countdown to Africa's greatest horse racing and social event is on. On Saturday, 4 July, the Hollywood Bets Durban July takes over Hollywood Bets Greyville Racecourse in a dazzling celebration of country allure, where style and entertainment take center stage. Your general access ticket also unlocks an incredible live music experience featuring Grammy Award-winning artists Zakes Bantwini and the ensemble, and some of Mzansi's biggest stars like Mikasa, Will Linley, Tamara Day, Vicky Sampson, Supreme 3, Will Reyes, and Angel Masibugo. Country charm meets rustic glamour in a celebration like no other. Be part of one of South Africa's most iconic events. Get your tickets now at Ticket Pro.
Head to Dis-Chem for the ultimate savings this winter. Look out for the yellow label to shop Better Rewards brands in-store and online. Swipe your Better Rewards card to save 99 Rand on the Huggies size 1 to 5 extra care nappies. Now only 170 Rand and 9 cents per pack. Plus save 60 Rand on the Johnson's 6-pack of extra sensitive or gentle all-over baby wipes. Now only 102 Rand 68. Offers valid until 12 July at Dis-Chem. Better health starts here.
Let's hear from Shemaine, owner of Vovotello Linwood, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
I wish we had switched sooner. Not only was it quick and easy, but also gave us more favorable premiums.
For restaurants, pharmacies, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
25 minutes before 11 o'clock on our Hanging Out feature this morning, we've got Zikhona Sotlaka, who is really one of the best actors this country has ever produced. And we're really celebrating you this morning.
I like that.
We don't want to wait for people to be much older or they're no longer with us for us to celebrate them. And I think we must learn to just celebrate excellence when we see it.
As South Africans.
As South Africans. Yeah. So that's what we're doing this morning of our Hanging Out feature. You can give us a call, send us a WhatsApp voice note as well on 0727021702. Okay, Mahu.
Who gives you your flowers? Do you get flowers? Has somebody told you that you're not too bad at what you do? Let me tell the people who are listening. Clement is so good at what he does, and because I'm so good at what I do, I was like, I need to over-prepare because this guy's going to throw me with a question that's 50 years old.
Yeah.
And I need to know how to answer it. And I don't, it's not an air of intimidation that you have. It's an air of knowing what you do, and we respect that and we appreciate it. And I am.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
This
is
kind.
back to me.
You're too kind. Mahu, I need to go to that before I go to some
Clement.
WhatsApp goes. So what song are we playing? Bengi Kela.
Yeah.
Wait, is it that?
Please play it.
Is it the one? I know the song.
You didn't even know how to pronounce it. You said Mal. But he is Mal. Oh.
Mahu. Legend. Yeah, I love that woman.
Clement, I'm also a fellow thespian. What I love about Zikona, I've had the opportunity to write for her in television. What I love about her the most is her generosity as a performer, as an artist. She is the art's biggest cheerleader. If she's not in front of the screen or on stage, she's in the audience supporting other artists, appreciating the work. We love you, CC. You are a juggernaut in the industry. This is Tony from Johannesburg.
Clem and 702. Usually I'm not starstruck, but with Zikona, I love you so much. And I'm tanned and you know, you made me fall in love with Xhosa in all your acting and the way you just naturally do it. And I just love you.
Wow, beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful.
It is.
Thank you so much for
that
those
was
WhatsApps.
Tony who sent the voice note, right?
Yes.
It's true. I go watch plays. I go watch. I'm sitting in the audience applauding because they applaud me when it's my turn. So when it's their turn,
Why not?
Why not?
Right. Tell me, I've always wondered about your dual upbringing because you were born in Mthatha.
Yes, I was.
And then you moved over to KwaZulu-Natal.
Mm-hmm.
What was that transition like for you? And how did that shape the thespian that you are now?
I find it's such a beautiful advantage. You know, artists, all we do is we have to collect data of what it is to be alive so that we can be able to play all the people that are here on God's green earth. So that unfair advantage I got really young because I was a teenager when I moved to the south coast of KZN. From mid teenagehood, about 17, 16, I was in Margate. My parents acquired a house there and I managed to negotiate to go live in that house and they said yes. So the duality of the worlds really, I mean, it's such a beautiful thing to be. I don't know if I'm super positive, but being a South African is one of my favorite things because ungumXhosa, but you can grow up in Bloemfontein amongst all the different other kinds of tribes and you integrate yourself. So I integrated myself. It was an easy thing. Also watching our parents do it the way that they did when they integrated themselves into communities. And then you just follow the lead of the people that parent you. And that's all I did. And maybe my Zulu can come in handy at some point. Maybe I could play a Zulu girl.
Maybe a Zulu girl at some point. Someone asked earlier about what you studied. I mean, you studied IT and what, business administration?
Yes, I did. And finance.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken that to use?
I mean, I'm definitely using it now in my company. So I run a production house called Zikona, so it's like a productions for the past 5 years, which has given birth to all of the things that I'm doing now, including the masterclass and scripted and unscripted content that I'm doing. I've got a talk show that I'm building called For Men, which we cannot wait to have you part of. By the way, a conversation about centralizing the mental health of men and such business. So that I studied, I had no clue that I would use it.
Yeah.
It came after my dad saying, how are you going to study dance? And I just do something that's practical. And boy, is it practical to know how to put a company together while I'm running my production house.
That's amazing. That's so incredible. I want you to tell us more about the masterclass because, by the way, we've got 2 young people in studio with us this morning.
Yes,
They're
we do.
interns and they've been asking us questions. They are here to just learn about radio. And one of the things they asked is the issue of nerves. Like, how do you even deal with nerves? And you're explaining that part of your masterclass is to just teach you how to breathe when you're nervous. And we take breathing for granted.
It's still a novelty as an artist to be able to navigate your body in order to do the work that you need to do. So the mastery that I've now entered while watching the greats and slowly becoming one myself, you learn the things of the greatest and you adopt them to what you do. Breathing, learning to center yourself in the room, to participate in the room, to know you belong in the room is some of the things that I learned from the people who do it the best, and then it became part of my practice too. Communication is definitely, so my masterclass is taking a life of its own. The Zikona, so it's like a masterclass. So we did a tour last year, a national tour. going to the different provinces, and it seemed like we were doing skills development at the time, teaching people how to not be afraid to do their job, and what is the skill of being a performer in the first place. But breath work has seemed to be something that everyone needs, even corporates, because there's always a pitch that you need to do.
Yeah.
But what's the imposter going to do? Because the imposter wants you to think that you can't speak in front of that crowd.
You're not enough. Yeah.
You're not enough. You cannot represent yourself the best way. You cannot speak. Abantu abakwazi uthetha, Clement. You know, uyafuna uthetha but awukwazi because kukho lento ithi kuwe. Perhaps you don't belong in that room. Just go practice a little bit more, and that's stealing your time.
Yeah. The way you speak Xhosa is so
Clement, stop
amazing.
falling in love. Stop it. Clement,
I think that ship has sailed.
Okay.
I'm a gone boy.
I'm a gone girl to Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good luck with that.
Thanks, I'll take it and run.
Here's what Timsa says on the WhatsApp line. He says, Clement, Zikona is so beautiful, tall and dark chocolate. You go, girl. You have it all. But, what a sterling job you've always been doing. Keep it up. That's a message from Tumi. And then Lady Anne says, Clement, you have the best talent in studio. She excelled with Mrs. Ndaha. For me, on that production, what an honor to have her on the show today. That's a message there from Lady Anne. Okay,
Lady
I
Anne.
want to ask you about motherhood. But before then, you wanted to introduce me to this song, Techno.
Absolutely. I have been it's always been the United States of Africa. Yes, It's always been the United States of Africa for me. So Afro-beats, before it became popular, we were in there. We were listening to Debanj. We were listening to Feli Pupa. When you celebrate, we the pop champagne. Culture creators, the people of West Africa have never been afraid of celebrating their music, their art, 100% since day one. And we've been following suit and learning from them how to not be afraid of the stuff that you do. The rest of the world agreed that Afrobeats is something. Eventually, they started looking down here and enjoying Amapiano, and we're glad to participate. So Techno has been a great producer. He produced for the likes of Davido. I forget right now, but he made music too. And this, if you listen to the song, you'll hear what a beautiful message it passes. It talks about how stop taking from the people. Play it. Yes!
My country people, yes, them go talk, them just the parambulate, so story heavy, Nepa no bring light, generator whatever, plenty greedy man for there, take a project, forget about the big things, so make we talk about the small things, forget about the big things, so make we talk about the small things, bless me, amen. Say you go bless you too, amen. Bless your papa, oh, amen. Bless your mama, oh, amen. Oluwa dey bless me, amen. Say you go bless you too, amen. Bless your papa, oh, amen. Bless your mama, oh, yeah. See me, I see you, yeah. Gbàdúrà fún mi, yeah. Lókè, oh, Baba Adeleke. International something, it's a big situation. Them back our money, take it to other nation. Invest for your country, make it a better place. Spend the money for your country, make it a better place. Forget about the big things, so make we talk about the small things.
So the name of the song is Rara.
Rara, oh, yes, it is Rara.
Baba.
But, I don't know what Rara means.
I'm sure you Baba.
I don't know what it means, but I said
I'm
Rara.
sure it means daddy.
Maybe it's telling government to stop doing something naughty. Rara, stop it.
Rara, stop it. Beautiful one, by the way. Rara by
thank
Techno. It's 10 minutes before 11.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
There was a lot of talk about Hugo Bruce, particularly in that first game after we lost to Mexico. The team really seemed shell-shocked. How do you think the turnaround has happened?
I think South Africans would have went to Mexico. Even if it would have taken us by bus, we would have gotten to Mexico to shake things up. I was one of the most emotional ones. I did not identify with anything that was on the field on that day. The formation, the style of play, the confidence, the character, nothing whatsoever. However, I love the fact that a wise man and a wise coach will change his mind and re-strategize and find a way.
Portia Modise, it's Canada up next. What do we do?
I really do believe in this generation. I hope Nabo, they see what they have. They see which they can change things. It's up to them.
Max Maponyane, you have the last word.
We need to play our game, knock the ball around, frustrate them. They'll be playing at home. They have to be the ones frustrated than us.
We are buoyed by what has happened.
Let's go! What a moment to be alive!
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Insurance pulls you in. Pineapple pulls you under. Insurance. Pineapple. Insurance. Pineapple.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Catch the Springboks live at Ellis Park Stadium this year. Lions fans, get ready. Secure your all-inclusive Lions membership package to watch the Springboks versus England and the All Blacks. Or from just 950 Rand, get your Lions-only package and unlock access to every Lions match at Ellis Park. All packages include the massive clash between the Lions and the All Blacks this August. Memberships are available now at Ticket Pro or through our stadium ticket office. Visit lionsrugby.co.za for package options. Own the season and get behind your team.
Gauteng is currently experiencing high water consumption. To avoid water interruptions, residents are urged to use water sparingly to allow equitable supply. Act now, save water. Every drop counts. This message is brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation, Rand Water, Gauteng Provincial Government, City of Johannesburg, City of Tshwane, and City of Ekurhuleni.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes before 11 o'clock. I see your messages on the WhatsApp line. Flower says, Clement, stop it, stop falling in love. Don't do it. That's what Flower says on the WhatsApp line. Mr. Bang says, Clement, wow, I am in love with Zikhona. How she speaks isiXhosa. I just wish the whole show can be in isiXhosa. Ndithetha isiXhosa ngoku.
Clement, uyakwazi uthetha isiXhosa?
Ndithetha kancinci.
Okay, but uyasiva.
Ndiyasiva.
Wena ungumni.
Yini ungumni?
What's your clan name?
Ke Mopedi.
What's your clan name?
Akitsebi.
Okay, Clement, you're not allowed to not know your clan name.
No.
Ask me what my clan name is.
What's yours?
Do you know what a clan name is? Shall we just get into that briefly?
Yeah, what's your clan name?
As an African woman, you've got a name and a man. You've got a name and a surname and a clan name. Your clan is who you belong to before you were given the surname. Kiwena Dlamini Wahawamam. So mna ndingumamfene. My clan of people, if I bump into someone who's uJambas, uLiso Canz, Msuthu, Hanzanz, Zangumweni, Sutu. Those are my people. Even if they have a different surname, that's my clan.
I think Rito, are we not?
You don't know your clan name? Clemmy, we're fixing that. Tomorrow you're coming in here and you say,
I'm gonna fix it
and you say,
now.
good morning, my name is Clement, and there's
Waga.
Dlamini.
I'm gonna do that right now. I want to talk a bit about motherhood because I do think it's a precious thing. What an opportunity you're given,
absolutely,
by the powers that be to be raising another human being.
Absolutely.
How has that changed you? How have you experienced motherhood?
Probably the greatest gift of all time. Nobody's exaggerating when they say the best gift you can ever get is to be a mother, to be a father, in your case, to parent a child. It is the most beautiful way of getting to learn yourself all over again. You're met with somebody who knows you from the inside, right? Then they grow up, and then you get a chance to redo the things that you were doing, because you have to teach them things. They must have a relationship with life, and their relationship with life is solely dependent on you up until a particular age. So patience, grace, prayer, all the things that are vital to how you were raised, you get to redo them with your child or do them afresh. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a lovely thing.
Has it changed you or aspects of you as a thespian?
It has improved them. You know, now you know you can jump into a role and jump right out, because you need to quickly answer the phone with your child, and you really need to go home. And remember, in the beginning we did establish to be an actor means to participate in life, so you may play different people. So when you then have an added addition of this 1,000% bonus of love, and maybe even frustration, and maybe even patience, it does improve your work.
Beautiful. Can we end with that other song? Nati, hey?
Why are we ending?
Ndifihle kwingozi nentsha nayo yonke imimoya thatha indawo njengosomandla sindisa impilo yami kwababantu abalunganga kuba namhlanje ndibonile uba silwe nenyama silwa nemimoya namhlanje ndibonile uba asilwe nabantu thina silwa nemimoya asilwe nabantu thina asilwe nabantu thina silwa nemimoya asilwe nabantu thina asilwe nabantu thina silwane mimoya, 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 silwane mimoya. Ezinye izinto azilungi noma ungazama zibanjwe emoyeni, ezimfazwe sizibonileyo aziqali namhlanje ziqale emoyeni.
Oh, beautiful. I'm happy to hear that Nati is still producing hits, eh? Beautiful,
okay, yes,
beautiful
okay.
song.
Emoyeni.
Yeah, we are Louis.
Emoyeni. Oh, thank you. That was a pleasant surprise.
Thank you so much for coming through. Unfortunately,
why is there time on Earth?
Because we found this system here.
Yeah, so
and we haven't been brave enough to change it. So maybe the next generation will. Thank you so much for coming through.
It's been a pleasure.
We truly appreciate your artistry, the incredible work that you do. And may you know, even when you have doubts, should you have, or when you're chilling and reflecting, know that South Africans are behind you and they appreciate your craft.
I'm aware that I know that the entire nation and those that came before me are with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
For having me, and for the reminder from you and your listeners that we're on to something. Something good.
Beautiful. It's a minute before 11.
Mzansi, the excitement is building. The 130th running of the Hollywood Vets Durban July takes place on Saturday, 4 July. This year's theme, Country Allure, draws from the richness of our land. A celebration of heritage, freedom and style, inspired by our beautiful countryside. It's more than a race. It's where champions are made, stories are written, and greatness is unleashed. World-class horse racing, bold fashion, music, culture, and a day of endless excitement at Hollywood Bet's Greyville Racecourse. Get your tickets now at Ticket Pro and release your glamour at the Hollywood Bet's Durban July, Africa's greatest horse racing and social event.
Everyone gets insurance for the moment something goes wrong, right? And when it does, you need the peace of mind of knowing your claim will be handled fairly. OUTsurance keeps outperforming. The Ombudsman, an independent body that rules on complaints, confirmed in their 2025 annual report that OUTsurance had the lowest overturned ratio of complaints received. So why would you want to be insured with anyone else? Get a quote and switch today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
This winter is a cold one, Mzansi. Keep the heat in and the cold out with CashBuild. Save on electricity and keep your home warm with our top quality ceiling insulation. Plus, upgrade to our energy efficient geysers and geyser blankets to keep your water hot for longer. Don't turn into an ice block this winter. Visit your nearest CashBuild store for quality insulation and energy efficient geysers. CashBuild.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court has accepted alleged crime boss Clement Manyathela's guilty plea, and this is in his fraud, corruption and money laundering case. It's linked to a controversial multi-million rand SAPS tender awarded to his company Medicare 24 Tshwane District. The plea forms part of an agreement reached with the NPS Anti-Corruption Unit. Koskona Malingamnisi reports.
As accused number one, how do you plead to this count?
I plead guilty.
Guilty.
Nearly 2 years after Medicare 24 Tshwane District secured a lucrative SAPS contract dogged by allegations of irregularities, its owner Clement Manyathela has pleaded guilty to all charges against him. Manyathela also entered guilty pleas on behalf of two companies, including Medicare 24, which was contracted to provide health and wellness services to SAPS members. In terms of the plea agreement, Manyathela admitted to fraud, corruption and money laundering arising from the tender award process. The state alleges procurement prescripts were ignored, oversight failures were exploited, and gratifications were paid to influence the outcome of the bidding process in favor of Manyathela's company. In court, Manyathela confirmed that his constitutional rights had been explained to him and that he fully understood the charges to which he was pleading guilty. The details of the plea and sentence agreement, including a deviation from the prescribed minimum sentence, were read into the record. The court said this step was necessary to ensure transparency given the significant public and media interest surrounding the case. Eyewitness News in Pretoria.
In another development out of the capital, evidence leaders at the Madlaga Commission want the panel of commissioners to consider recommending the prosecution of controversial businessman Suleiman Karim if he fails to appear again. Karim's testimony has been postponed for a third time after claiming to be medically unfit to testify following an alleged heart attack in April. The commission has now granted the submission to postpone Karim's testimony to 15 July. Chief Evidence Leader Matthew Chaskelson says Karim needs to be examined by an independent healthcare practitioner to determine if he really suffered from a heart attack.
If Mr. Karim does not agree to be examined by an independent specialist, then we will ask the Commission to recommend that he be prosecuted under Section 5 and 6 of the Commissions Act and Regulation 12.2 for hindering the proceedings of the Commission.
But Karim's lawyer, Camille Premide, argues that such a recommendation would be prejudicial to his clients.
But also there are other concerns that we have, that there are potentially less intrusive means that the Commission has available to it other than to subject our client to medical examination by a medical expert that he does not necessarily consent to. It's a compelled examination. That's how we understand the proposal being.
Gauteng police say there will be nowhere to hide for anyone planning to incite violence or break the law during an anti-illegal immigration protest next Tuesday. Provincial Commissioner Tommy Mtombeni says a massive security operation, including helicopters, drones and more than 33,000 CCTV cameras, will be deployed to monitor any protest action. Mongezi Koko has more.
Briefing the media at the Eldorado Park police station, Mtombeni says authorities would be watching events on the ground and from the air. The commissioner says police will use a combination of helicopters, drones and extensive CCTV network to track any criminal activity and identify those responsible. He warned that while some arrests may be effected on the day, others would follow after suspects are identified through video footage and other evidence.
At the later stage, we come and knock in your door. We say you are under arrest. There are people who think that they can get away. Don't get into that play.
The comments come as Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia has repeatedly warned that criminality, intimidation, incitement of violence and destruction of property will not be tolerated. Government has already set aside more than 600 million rand for a national security operation ahead of June 30th. Gauteng is considered one of several key provinces being closely monitored as authorities prepare for any eventuality. Monkey Ziko, Eyewitness News.
And it continues to be an exciting day for South Africa with celebrations for Bafana Bafana's historic achievement at the FIFA World Cup. The team beat South Korea 1-0 during the early hours of this morning in their game in Mexico. Tapelo Masego's goal sends Bafana to the knockout stages, making this a first for South Africa. And this is what the fans had to say.
So we're very proud of the boys. I didn't know they can play cricket, rugby and soccer, so it's very nice to play in the knockouts.
I'm feeling very excited. I think we did well after 16 years of trying. I think, yeah, man, exciting times.
Yeah, no, I was very surprised, but very excited. And I think South Africa is a country of winners. So let's see how far our boys can go.
Gold is trading at $3,971.50 an ounce. The rand is at 16.65 to the dollar, 21.83 to the pound, 18.82 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $72.60 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North. This is right at the Geldenhuys interchange, and that's due to roadworks. And if you are traveling on the N3 South, do anticipate delays approaching the Girudi's interchange coming out of Linksfield Road.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 23 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The Pretoria Specialised Commercial Crimes Court has accepted alleged crime boss Vincent Magweny's guilty plea in his fraud, corruption and money laundering case.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
8 minutes after 11 o'clock. Dumelang, Sanbonani, Bonjour. Welcome to the third and final hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702. And thank you for showing Zikona some love. We need to learn to appreciate these artists while they're still alive. Give them their flowers, and they must know how appreciated their craft is. So thank you so much for sending your WhatsApps, for calling us, and for celebrating here with us. It's time now for our Thursday Dialogue.
The Dialogue with Clement Manyathela.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's Walk the Talk on 702.
So, on our Thursday Dialogue this morning, I want us to have a conversation that I think some of you are conflicted about. And I thought we should have this discussion because I've picked up from some of the calls we've gotten on the 702 open line when we talk about, who are you gravitating towards, as we prepare to vote in November. And there are some of you that are conflicted. Like some of you believe in the ideology or the policy positions of certain political parties, but you don't like the candidates that they've put up. And then some of you like the candidates, you've got a confidence that they may be able to deliver, but you don't necessarily policies of those organizations. So I want to know from you this morning, what matters most to you as a voter? Like, is ideology the first thing that comes to mind? Like, is that what you care most about? That's what determines which political party you vote for? Or are you more about service delivery? So you may not agree with some policies of a particular political party, but all you're about is, can they deliver? Do they have a track record of good service delivery? And that becomes your influencer. Give us a call to share your thoughts on 011-883-0702. You can send your WhatsApps as well on 072-702-1702. I mean, our political landscape is definitely changing. I think automatic party loyalty and liberation politics appears to be diminishing, and that's giving away to a more pragmatic voter. There are many South African voters who are increasingly abandoning this rigid historical and liberation era ideologies in favor of sort of issue-based or issue-driven politics, service delivery, pragmatism. I mean, even the recent elections, they suggest that many South Africans are becoming less attached to historical allegiances and more focused on performance. And yet, for some, ideology still remains important because it shapes policy choices, it shapes economic priorities, and the kind of society political parties seek to build. So as a voter, are you prioritizing political principles or political ideology, or are you prioritizing service delivery? What matters more to you? You can give us a call or send a WhatsApp voice notes. My guest this morning, I've got Moeletsi Mbeki, who's a political economist, joining me in studio. Mr. Mbeki, thank you so much for coming through. Good morning. Always appreciate your time.
Morning. Good to be here.
We also have Professor Adam Habib, who is an academic, he's an activist, he's the Vice Chancellor of SOAS University of London. Professor Habib, great to chat to you again. It's been a while. Good morning.
It has been a while. Lovely being here, Clement.
Thank you. Let me start with you, Mr. Mbeki. Do you think South African voters are becoming less ideological and more pragmatic in the way that they vote?
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer. I think South African voters have always been pragmatic. The liberation agenda was a pragmatic agenda. It wasn't an ideological agenda. It was a pragmatic agenda because the black people of South Africa were oppressed by all the apartheid laws that we know all about. So to vote against apartheid was being pragmatic, and to vote for liberation organizations was being pragmatic. So I think South African voters really are pragmatic, and when their liberation leaders fail, they vote against them, as we saw in the last election.
Yeah.
So they are not attached to the person or the party. They are attached to the message and the objective. Most importantly, they are attached to the objective. The ANC had promised a certain objective over the last 70 years, actually.
Yeah.
If you go back to the Freedom Charter, which was written 70 years ago, it promised a number of objectives. 70 years later, the voters are saying that these objectives are not being met, so they start to question.
Yeah.
So I think South African voters are pragmatic.
They've always been pragmatic. And your thoughts, Professor Habib? Because I think what's been confusing to me whenever I take some calls on the open line, I mean, I've had callers who call and say, I'm sorry, I will never vote for this particular party, even though the person acknowledges that the party does deliver services where they stay. They've seen that, but they say, I'm not going to compromise on my values like that. I need a party that is ideologically leaning this way, and this one doesn't, and therefore on that basis I don't. What's been your observation, Professor Habib?
So I think that Molitsi is right. I think that the citizens of South Africa have been more pragmatic than people have given it credit for. Although I do think that there has been a party loyalty. And I think that that party loyalty has been fraying over many, many years. So I think that the ANC has taken for granted the fact that many black people, not all, but many black people voted for them. And for a long period of time, when South African citizens were unhappy with leadership performance, they tried to enable the change within the ANC itself. We saw that from Thabo Mbeki to Jacob Zuma. There was a lot of unhappiness with Jacob Zuma, and there was a shift and lots of mobilization to move on from Jacob Zuma, and we've had Cyril Ramaphosa. So there's been, if you like, for a long period of time, the pragmatism manifested in itself with moving people within the ANC. I think increasingly in recent years, I think over the last at least 10, voters are now saying, we are prepared to be less loyal to the ANC. So their loyalty to parties has begun to erode far more than that. And I think that took long. It took a long period. I think that was not because of the citizens, by the way. I think that it was partly because of the leaders. The leaders could have been more pragmatic themselves. And I'm not speaking only of the ANC. I think that the DA could have been far more pragmatic much more earlier on. And if it was able to craft its language and its narrative, political narrative, in a way that appealed to black voters, then it would have got to them much more easily. Too often, DA leaders blamed black citizens for voting in identity terms, rather than saying, what are we doing wrong that's not attracting them? But I think that there's a greater pragmatism that has also emerged among political leaders of late, in some parties anyway, if not others. So yes, I think that South African citizens are more pragmatic along the lines that Moletsi suggested. I think for a while they were more tied to parties, but I think that's begun to erode quite significantly with the failures of the ANC over the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. So the voting based on historical loyalties, I mean, if that is diminishing, is that the case though, Mr. Mbeki, even in rural areas? Because there's times when I go home and when I speak to, when my grandparents were still alive, or even when I speak to my own parents, they still have a particular loyalty to, certain political parties. And for them, that is more about what those parties have done for them. Because these are people who lived during apartheid. So they really, when they experience democracy, which some of us maybe may take for granted because we have not really lived in that difficult time, they say, we know how difficult it was there, and this is a party that took us into this new era of democracy, and therefore we remain loyal to them. Is that still the case in rural areas from your observation?
Well, I think there is a decline in the people voting for the ANC, even in the rural areas. Although, of course, the rural voters are still a much larger part of, compared to the metros, for example, a much larger part of the voters for the ANC. For example, Limpopo, if I remember correctly, the ANC got 74% of the vote in the last election, and in the Eastern Cape, it got 63%. So it still has a strong rural voter support. Now, why this is, I don't pretend to know why the rural voters are still so loyal to the ANC, albeit in declining numbers. But certainly, I think it is true that there is a strong loyalty. to the ANC.
Professor Habib, what role do coalition governments have in forcing parties to become, I suppose, more pragmatic and less ideological in their approach to voters? And do you think it dilutes that ideology because parties now are forced to sort of compromise?
So firstly, I think the coalition governments, I think you're going to have a much more deeper deliberation around coalition governments. Firstly, I think coalition governments can be enormously unstable, partly because they aren't able to get sets of agreements. We've seen that in multiple cases at regional and local level in South Africa. And then coalition governments can work where people can be pragmatic and they can find themselves. We've seen that in many Western countries. They've ruled through coalition governments for decades. There's been all kinds of debates about whether the GNC will survive, etc. And it's defied expectations and done relatively well. I don't think it has always done well, but it's done relatively well under the circumstances. Do they allow you to compromise? I think it really depends on the leaders. I think it depends on the nature of the voting pool. I think it depends on the share of the votes. I think it depends on the maturity of the political system. But coalition governments are intended to enable a greater pragmatism and allows you to start focusing on trade-offs. If you want that, we will need that in return, etc. And that forces us to confront it. I will say this: ideology is never pure. I mean, the ANC is talking about development and about socialism and about at least social democracy for decades. Its policies have never been very social democratic in many cases. So this idea that there's these pure ideologies represented by these parties is not true. I mean, for much of the period of the if you look at the fact that the Western Cape, and particularly Cape Town, was controlled and managed by the DA, but it had, at least in the way it related to insourcing, it had a much different practice to Johannesburg, which prior to a few years ago had completely outsourced all of its services between 2000 and I think it was 2018. So it's not always a neat reflection of ideology, but it's fair to say that the ANC is left of the DA in the way it at least conceptualizes economic policy and the way it conceptualizes its foreign engagements.
23 minutes after 11 o'clock, we've got Professor Adam Habib and Moile Tsimbeki talking to us about this balance or this issue of ideology versus service delivery. And I want to know from you what matters most to you as a voter. What do you prioritize? Are you more about ideology, or do you just care about services? Are you as pragmatic like that? 011-883-0702. We'll start with your WhatsApps and calls after the break.
When you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Nedbank is more than just a bank. We're a growth partner because we understand that real success happens when you're looking ahead, spotting opportunities others miss, and planning for tomorrow, today. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank. We're licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Get over 150 million rand in weekly extra savings with the Checkers XXL Savings Championship. Like Parmalat cheddar or Gouda cheese, 850 grams, any two for 249 rand. Cadbury chocolate slabs, 136 or 170 grams, any two for 79 rand. And Baby Soft 2-ply fresh white or Supreme Quilts toilet rolls, 18 per pack, any two for 249 rand. Valid until 28 June, only at Checkers.
Keep moving through 6 a.m. call times. The rain, dirt tracks, and moving through tight deadlines.
Because you move with purpose, from the first stop to the final drop. The Hino 700 truck tractor comes standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty and advanced safety features tailored to your industry. The Hino 700 is built to fuel your business's progress. Hino, all the way.
The Dialogue with Clement Manyathela.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's walk the talk on 702.
25 minutes after 11 o'clock. What matters more to you as a voter? What do you consider the most? Is it the ideology or the ideological positioning of an organization? Or do you care more about can they deliver services or not? Koketso, you're calling us from the East End. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Clement, and good morning to your guests. I just want to put to you, I think it's difficult to separate ideology from service delivery, because when you look at how these political parties prioritize the budgeting in terms of where the money is spent, you can see the ideology coming through. So, for instance, largely their budget is geared towards servicing their constituencies and their the constituency needs. Whether the constituencies stay in the suburbs or they stay in the rural areas or they stay in the city, but they divvy the budget up depending on the constituency. So I think it's difficult as South African voters to separate ideology from service delivery. And just in closing, Clement, I just want to add that I think after more than 30 years, South Africans are actually sick and tired of the status quo of how the country's been managed, right? We feel that it's largely been mismanaged, and we look at the establishment parties, and I think the establishment parties, in my mind, have a hand at the mismanagement. So you look at the DA in the Western Cape and how the Western Cape also has its own ills and problems, and you look at the rest of the other provinces and the governing party, which is the ANC. So I think for me, the establishment parties are actually going to have a rough time in this coming elections because voters are basically saying we're tired of the status quo. We want to imagine a different South Africa.
Yeah, great contribution there, Koketso. Thank you so much for your call. Do you agree with that, Mr. Mbeki?
Yes, I agree with the caller. I think the party, what's important for the people of South Africa is for the economy to move forward. That's what's at the bottom of all our problems, is that we're having not just a stagnating economy, but a declining economy. If you measure in terms of gross domestic product per capita. So we have a shrinking economy. And this shrinking economy contributes to a lot of crime and contributes, of course, to the growing poverty, the growing unemployment. So I agree with the caller that at the end of the day, the people of South Africa want to see the South African economy grow like it grew in the 2000s. For example, in the 2000s, you could even feel it that the economy was growing. It was growing at 4 to 5%. Unemployment started coming down and so on. And that's what the population wants.
But who then benefits, Professor Habib? Because part of what Koketso says is, ultimately the political parties are going to service their constituency. And, there are obviously different ideological position around what kind of an economy, like must it be an inclusive economy? Do we care about radical economic transformation? So ultimately, at some point, it's the constituency of a political party based on its policies and its positioning that is going to benefit from that economic growth. What are your reflections based on what Koketso said?
So I think Koketso is absolutely right when she says that South African voters are hurtful. They want change, and they're not getting change. I think Moletsi is absolutely right in the sense that a lot of South African voters want growth. They want the economy improving. They want a growing economy. They would like an inclusive economy, but they don't see that as mutually exclusive. They want, you can't be inclusive if you're not growing. I think that there's more than growing the economy. In the municipal voters and people are in the municipal elections, people are saying, we want water, we want lights, we want roads. We want simple things that municipal government is responsible. Now, I don't think, here is where I think that there's a difference. I don't think it's true that people say because of their ideology, parties deliver on that. So think about the ANC. The ANC says it's a developmental party. It believes in developmental economics. It believes in an inclusive economy. What do you think the ANC has done? Do you think it's delivered on its own ideology in Johannesburg? Its own ideology does not support destruction of the road infrastructure. Its own ideology does not support the destruction of water infrastructure. Its own ideology does not support rampant corruption and enrichment by political elites. Its ideology doesn't say that. But its practice is all of that in Johannesburg. And I think even ANC supporters are saying, I might have voted ANC before. I'm hurtful. I'm sick of these guys. What I need in Johannesburg is water. I need lights. I need roads working. I don't need rhetoric anymore. I want you to deliver that. And if you can do that in a way that services everybody, including the vast majority of Black people, I think you have a winning formula. But that's what you've got to do. And you've got to take the fact that Black people in the majority are in poverty-stricken environments. There's quite a few that are in rich environments, but the vast majority are in poor environments, and you need to service their interests. You need to give them access to services. That's what's on the agenda.
Yeah.
And I think that's what voters want, is they sick of the rhetoric. They sick of all of the rhetorical instruments. What they want to say is, show me something that you're doing. It's the practice that counts. And I think that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 11:31. Let's get the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. We'll continue this conversation after the headlines, and I'll go straight to your WhatsApps and your calls as well. I want to hear what is of priority to you as you consider which party to vote for in November. Khomotso, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Kat Madlala has formally agreed to assist the NPA's anti-corruption investigators and testify on behalf of the state. This forms part of a plea agreement in a multi-million rand SAPS tender corruption case involving his company Medicare 24 Tshwane. Madlala has pleaded guilty to fraud, corruption and money laundering charges linked to the controversial contract awarded to his company to provide health and wellness services to police officers. Evidence leaders at the Madlanga Commission want the panel of commissioners to consider recommending the prosecution of controversial businessman Suleiman Karim if he fails to appear again. Karim's testimony has been postponed for a third time after claiming to be medically unfit to testify following an alleged heart attack in April. The commission has now granted the submission to postpone Karim's testimony to the 15th of next month. And France has experienced its hottest night since 1947. Temperatures peaked at 22 degrees Celsius last night, and this comes days after the 21.6 degrees recorded on Monday. Europe is grappling with the heat wave with sizzling temperatures, leading to red heat alerts across the continent. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at midday or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, traveling in Eldorado Park, we've got delays on the N12 West. This is between the Golden Highway and Klipswood Valley Road. Please be on the lookout there while heading towards Amalgam, queuing traffic along the M2 West between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. If you're heading towards Bedford View, do expect delays on the N12 and the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Kalulis Interchange. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North just as you approach the Kalulis turnoff. Heading towards Sandton, we've got an accident on the M1 South. It happened right after the Baku interchange. Is already causing heavy delays. Please be on the lookout there and try to avoid the backlog. We'll have more updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Every great business starts with a problem, one you may have experienced yourself. Nedbank Business Ignite 2026 is looking for entrepreneurs who have turned that pain into purpose and build solutions that truly make a difference. So if your business is generating between 1 million rand and 20 million rand, you could get the funding, mentorship and support you need to grow with Nedbank as your partner. Plus, access to Simply Biz to help you scale sustainably. So if you're solving real problems and ready to take your business further, visit igniteyourbusiness.co.za or primemediaplus.com and enter today.
Elevate your flying experience with Lift Premium. Enjoy even more space, comfort, and convenience with priority boarding, extra baggage allowance, and complimentary lounge access. Visit lift.co.za today.
Your boss noticed. Your ex noticed. The neighbors definitely noticed. Because some cars say, I rented a car. And some cars say, I rented the car. Sani Sixt Rent a Car. Premium rentals. For people who don't settle. Choose the right car. Rent Sani Sixt on sani.co.za.
You know when your people are giving their best. Not because they're pushed or pressured, but because they feel supported. And support is making sure they're covered. So if something happens, they can get the care they need. FlexiCare Health Insurance makes it simple for every business to protect their people with affordable health cover. You care, we cover. For a tailored FlexiCare quote, speak to your financial advisor today. FlexiCare is underwritten by ANG, a licensed non-life insurer and FSP, and administered by Discovery Health, a licensed FSP.
The Dialogue with Clement Manyathela.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's walk the talk on 702.
24 minutes before 12 o'clock. I want to hear from you now on 011-883-0702. On this topic we're discussing this morning around ideology versus service delivery. What is it that you prioritize as you decide which party to vote for? I've got your WhatsApps coming on 0727021702.
Hi, Clement. You know, I'm an EFF member in good standing, but we differ when it comes to the illegal immigration issue. Because I know in Joburg they are doing community safety. So in my head, I know for sure that there won't be any law enforcement when it comes to eradicating illegal immigration. So I've decided, you know what, this year, I'm not going to throw away my membership or anything, but I'm just going to vote differently because I love the 7 cardinal pillars of the EFF. I love what they stand for, except for one thing. So the people must govern. That's exactly what we are doing. When we give policies, we don't give policies that we want to be dictated to also.
Clemmy, more man, Flores here from a beautiful Western Cape. Clemmy, for me, it's all about service delivery. Let me tell you, you get these politicians who can talk a good talk, but they cannot implement. So whatever party can deliver services, that's the party I'm going, but not a party who's exclusively white or exclusively black or exclusively for a certain religion. For me, it should be all-inclusive package. But service delivery, number one. Have a good job, bye.
Dumela Clement and your guests, Kingsley from Germiston. You know, if I were to speak for myself, there have been times where I've come very close for voting for a party, and some or other senior leader within the party has gone and said something really stupid. And, you know, I've sort of come back from that brink and decided, you know what, there's no ways I'm voting for a party that has that kind of leadership. There have been times when, for example, the ANC has, instead of stepping up and taking accountability, doubled down and closed ranks around a leader. And that has also left me feeling affronted, and I've decided there's no ways I'm ever going to vote for a party that does that. So for me, it's the identity of the leader matters, but it's about their principles and their values more than whether they're popular or not. And then together with that, you start looking at the fact that, you know, do those political parties that particular individual belongs to, do they actually deliver or not? And if they don't deliver, then of course, I'm not going to vote for them.
Good morning, Clement.
for me, ideology is very, very important than, being pragmatic in a sense that, a particular party performs well in terms of service delivery than the other one. But for me, I don't care about that. All I care about it's the ideology, because the ideology is translate into policy, social, economic. So that is why I keep on voting for the ANC. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I was actually thinking now, Mr. Mbeki, about Helen Ziller, because she has, for instance, I want to use her as an example, she's deliberately framed her Johannesburg campaign around fixing potholes, water shortages. She's going around trying to address service delivery failures, and she's avoided engaging in the broader ideological debates. I mean, she argues that voters care more about functioning municipalities than ideological battles. But there are other people who say, but I do want to know what you believe as an organization about Gaza. Like, I do want to know what you believe about, or even the war in Iran. Is this an accurate reading of the electorate from Helen Ziller's point of view, or does it underestimate the importance of values in how voters elect their leaders? Because as amazing as a candidate you can be, I do care, do you notice what's happening in Gaza, and how do you characterize it?
Yeah, I disagree with Helen that the local government election is only about potholes and about water supply, about electricity. It's about those things, yes. They affect all of us. When I drive to work along Winnie Mandela Drive, every time I drive there, I don't know if my car is going to be in an accident because of potholes, because of non-working traffic lights, and so on. So I'm concerned that we need a municipality that can manage those things. When I go to Cape Town and I drive on the roads in Cape Town, that I don't worry about potholes, I don't worry about non-working traffic lights, because I don't come across potholes. So it matters. However, as a citizen of South Africa and as a citizen of the world, it's not just municipal issues that affect me. It's the world peace that affects me. Peace in the Middle East affects me. Right now, we're paying lots and lots for petrol and diesel because of what's going on in the Middle East. The farmers are anxious about whether they will get their fertilizers for the next planting season because of what's going on in the Middle East. So we're citizens of South Africa and we're citizens of the world. So what goes on in the world affects us. So when we have an election, the politicians who are presenting themselves to be voted have to address all the issues, the municipal issues, the national issues, the international issues. So I think she's wrong to think that all these issues are not interlinked. They are interlinked.
Yeah. And we got a voice note earlier, Professor Habib, from a listener who says, they came close to voting for one party and then the leader went out and said something maybe outrageous, which then sort of changes their approach to voting and whether or not they should vote for that party. So I'm getting a sense that there are some people who truly want to know that, sure, you've got a great candidate, but what are your policies, for instance, on transformation? And I mean, speaking for myself, I care much about that. I want to vote for a party that acknowledges the difficult past that this country has had and is committed to bringing about policies that are going to ensure there's inclusive economic growth and that all of us are going to benefit from this economy and not a specific group. So what's the balance there? Do we sometimes, do you think, obsess too much about the political leaders themselves? Because sometimes, they say something wrong, but that doesn't change how good they are at the job or their parties and their policies.
So let me start by saying here's where I think Boletti is right in the sense that values matter. Values matter. I have no doubt about it. And the world, the international and the local are connected in fundamental ways. And in most cases, if voters were to make a choice, they look at two things. Can you deliver? Can you provide, if you're standing up for the mayor, potholes? Can you fix the potholes? Can you provide lights? Can you do that? And are you a good person? Do you believe in the things that I stand for? Are you against wanton murder of women and children in Gaza? I mean, I think those things matter to all citizens. And I think people look for an ideal candidate. And then they suddenly land up and say, ooh, none of them are ideal candidates. There's a guy there who talks a good talk on Gaza. He says a whole series of things on economic inclusion, but he can't deliver anything. For the last 5 years, our water systems have collapsed, our electricity collapsed, etc. And that's what I think Helen has cottoned on to. So she's right, that Helen's not right in thinking that people don't care, they do. But where she's right in is that people are hurtful. And they hurtful with this idea that because you've got a position on Gaza, somehow I'm going to vote for you in Johannesburg, even if you can't deliver Johannesburg. And I think she's cottoned onto that moment in Johannesburg's citizens' history, where people are saying, there's no compromise here. There should be no compromise on water. There should be no compromise on electricity. There should be no compromise on delivery. We want a stable, functioning municipality. That's what you paid for. You paid lots of money to do that. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be there. Whatever your position on Gaza, whatever your position on the Ukraine, whatever your position on the rhetoric of economic inclusion, that makes a difference. And I think it makes a difference what position you're looking for. I think people think differently about how this plays out at the municipal level. And I think it'll play differently how it plays out at the national level. And I think that that's important. But I also think that the DA leadership could learn a lot. That you don't have to be a radical communist to believe in economic inclusion. You can believe in social democracy and market, but still believe in including all of it. And there are people in the DA who do believe that. But their rhetoric sometimes creates the impression that they're not. I mean, on BEE, I'm a critic of BEE. I'm a critic of BEE not because empowerment is important. I recognize it's important. But I'm a critic of BEE because the way it's been implemented is not about empowerment, it's about enrichment. It's made a few people rich, and large numbers of young Black entrepreneurs and white entrepreneurs have not had the ability to enable empowerment. That's not the empowerment we spoke about. We never spoke about enrichment in the 90s and 2000s. So I'm with you, Clement, on inclusion and transformation. But I want a real inclusion and transformation. I want the young emerging Black entrepreneur in Soweto to have access to state funds to do a startup, not for some guy to get millions of shares in APSA and because their rhetoric is right. That's the big difference about this. So I think Helen's cottoned on to the hurtful nature of the Johannesburg electorate. And that's what's making a difference. And so if you ask me in Johannesburg tomorrow's election, whatever your position on Gaza, people are going to make a decision on can you deliver water, electricity, roads, all of those things. And I think that's you can't say that they're conservative because they believe that. That's not fair.
Yes, Mr. Beck?
Yes, I think the point Adam is making about enrichment, this has become the ideology of layers of the ANC in particular, that enrichment is a good thing because their leaders and their members benefit. So what has happened with the ideology of enrichment is that it has been extended to the whole of the public service in South Africa. The public service, especially the middle to the upper layers, have become very wealthy. They pay themselves enormous salaries, but this is at the expense of the rest of the economy of South Africa. So we find that public service salaries are up to, say, 16% of gross domestic product, when they should be at 6 or 7% of gross domestic. So they are milking the rest of the economy, taking out the investment that should be going to build new hospitals, new factories, and enriching themselves who control the civil service. So what we have in South Africa now, certainly from the ANC side, is an ideology of self-enrichment for this elite that is running the state.
Moeletsi Mbeki, political economist, and Professor Adam Habib is an activist and academic. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation.
It's a pleasure.
I'll go straight to your WhatsApps after the break. It's 11 minutes now before 12.
The world's best male and female paddle players are coming to South Africa. The historic Premier Paddle Pretoria P1 will be at Sunbet Arena Times Square from 26 July to the 2nd of August. Expect world-class action, unbelievable energy, premium hospitality, and an atmosphere unlike anything South African sport has seen before. This is Africa's biggest paddle tournament ever, and tickets are selling fast. Don't miss your chance to witness the sport's biggest stars in South Africa. Get your tickets now at primemediaplus.com.
When the people of Joburg unite for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, on Sunday, the 26th of July, your safety is our priority. Working closely with the South African Police Service, the JMPD, private security teams, emergency services, city wardens, and other key stakeholders, there's a complete and comprehensive safety plan in place every step of the way. And there's a safe park and ride to the start at Ellis Park, thanks to Gautrain and Prasa. So come along and walk the iconic inner city with us by entering on primemediaplus.com now. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Joburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie. Babize bonke. More on primemediaplus.com.
Switching to Outsurance Business Insurance was a quick process. I saved a lot of money.
Outsurance Business Insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium when you switch? For boutique hotels, catering companies, and all other businesses. Get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
The Dialogue with Clement Manyathela.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's walk the talk on 702.
8 minutes before 12 o'clock. Let's go to your WhatsApps.
Morning, Clement. For me, it's about the practicality. A practicality of the message is what is important for me. I do not care who you are, white, black, Indian, colored, as much as when I listen to your message and what you are promising is practical for me. I look at the practicality. But as much as I talk about practicality, but I have also drawn the line on the sand for ANC and EFF. I'm not voting for such.
Hi, Clement. Ideology is no more. It is no more. Clement is not working anymore. It used to work during that time. For now, we care less about the ideology. We are more on service delivery. We are more on service delivery. If you don't deliver with your ideology, we're not going to take a route with you. We want a service delivery where we have all necessary things that we are really needed. For instance, we are sitting in a situation of the ideology, and it takes us nowhere. It takes us nowhere at all. Thank you so much. This is Moses from Zagaria Park.
Hi, Clement, and good morning to your guests. I think ideology can be limiting in terms of, as much as you want an identity, it can be limiting for a political party. For example, the EFF, radical economic transformation and all of that. There are some people that like what the EFF is doing. They've shaken up parliament. and they've got some really, really smart politicians. But just the thought of how some things have been mismanaged, I think that can be limiting. And same goes for the DA, same goes for the ANC. So for me, ideology translates to service and where that service is going to be. And I think that is what either makes or breaks a party. Shivers in box.
Good morning, Clement. MD here in Pretoria. For me, when it comes to the votes, I'm more pragmatic, more than just loyal to the party. We have seen the ANC, they've been very arrogant, and I decided to vote against the ANC for the past 2 votes that I voted. So we have seen this new GNU is really working for everyone in South Africa. So I'm more pragmatic, more than just the loyal to the party.
Clement, I'm a resident of Johannesburg, and these are local elections. And so for me, they're all about functionality. I don't care what's happening in the Middle East because I'm the one who has water shortages here. I'm the one who has problems with city power week in, week out. I'm the one who drives in these roads of Johannesburg. So that really has nothing to do with what the ideology of who I want to put in power has to do when it comes to international relations. We leave that for the national election. We leave that for the national elections. Then I would care how we as South Africa relate with, the world, how we relate with international countries. But now I want a functioning government in my local area. And so I don't care what they say about the Middle East at this point. At this point is about, yes, we will close the portals. Yes, we will try and give you sustainable power. Yes, we will make sure that that's what I care about at this point. And so Helen Zille kind of has a point.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Joburg, it's time to show up for our city. On Sunday, the 26th of July, join thousands of Joburgers for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank. Walk through the heart of Johannesburg, celebrate its rich history, and experience the exciting growth taking place in the CBD. As a committed partner invested in the future of our city, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement helping to build a stronger, safer, and more vibrant Josie for generations to come. Register today and take part in the walk that brings Johannesburg together. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
Right, gang, are we all in? Liam? Here. Ethan? Here. Andrew? Here. Luca? Yeah. Amelia? Yeah. Violet? Yeah, Mom. Introducing the Chungun CS75 Pro, a powerful turbocharged engine, modern safety features, and room with 7 seats for everyone.
Hey, that's not everyone. You forgot Choppy, Mom.
Oh, Choppy. The all-new CS75 Pro.
Chungun, driven to evolve.
This winter is a cold one, Mzansi. Keep the heat in and the cold out with Cash Build. Save on electricity and keep your home warm with our top quality ceiling insulation. Plus, upgrade to our energy efficient geysers and geyser blankets to keep your water hot for longer. Don't turn into an ice block this winter. Visit your nearest Cash Build store for quality insulation and energy-efficient geysers. Cash Build.
Coming up, the Midday Report with Mandy Wiener. What's popping, Mandy?
Bafana won.
Yay!
We'll talk
Did you
about
watch
that.
this morning?
Yes. I was umming and ahhing, but I woke up to watch. Clement Manyathela has cut a deal with the states. He'll turn state witness in exchange for 15 years in prison. So let's see who falls next.
I'm okay with that because for as long as he's going to bring down a lot of people.
It sounds like a lot of police officers are going to come down
Good.
as a
That's
result.
what we need.
But I have lots of experience with plea deals, so I'll talk about that. Suleiman Karim, a no-show at the Madlanga Commission again due to poor health. Chairperson of parliamentary committees are giving a briefing ahead of the 30th of June. And then our book of the week is Where to From Here? Populism and Coalition Politics in South Africa.
That's Mandy Wiener coming up on the Midday Report after the news. Thank you for listening to the show, Vandag. Tomorrow between 9 and 12, we're back. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Khomoto Modise. Alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Clement Manyathela has formally agreed to assist the NPA's anti-corruption investigators and testify on behalf of the state. This forms part of a plea agreement in a multi-million rand SAPS tender corruption case involving his company Medicare 24 Tshwane. Manyathela has pleaded guilty to fraud